That thing in Alaska just happened. We were just talking about it off the air. So anyway, yeah.
Now we need to not talk about it ever again.
Eh, well, no, it does bear mentioning because, like I was
Okay.
saying before we got on the air, there's a lot about this that a lot of the major players aren't speaking on. That being that this is just really the opening of talks. It's bringing somebody in from the cold that's been shut out of world business. So that doesn't happen in one meeting. That's just the nature of things. So what
I
this
mean,
is,
I think Dollar Store could probably get it done in a meeting.
well, Dollar Store can get a lot of things done in a meeting, but you're not going to get a quality product out of it. So it's Dollar Store. So
Yeah, it's only $1.
exactly, it's only $1. You know, it's like going to the ruble store expecting
I'm
to get,
sorry, it's $1.65 now.
or
Inflation.
depending on which dollar store, it might be up to 5 because you know,
You know.
dollar buys you a lot these days. But anyway, though, what this is, it's the opening of things, and there's a lot of outlets that are basically just saying this is the end all, this is the be all, this is everything, this is the start and finish. If this doesn't go well, then it's all over. And for one,
It's
it went
ridiculous how many
well.
people want our country to fail who live here
Yeah,
and don't have the forethought to understand like where their next foot is going to land when they're walking, let alone what that would do to the country.
yeah.
Let's just kill the guy. The fuck.
Well, on that
Brainless.
exact point, you know, we've got Brian Krasenstein that made that literally that point, and I'd like to note that was
Good old
brought to the
Krasenbrand.
attention of Elon Musk, who said that it's unacceptable. So we'll see where the many and varied
Oh,
reports
and then nothing happened, like last time.
yet, but maybe something will, maybe something won't. I would be
I think just
unsurprised.
taking away his monetization should be enough. That faggot
Wait,
just
when the
farms content constantly, farms clicks. Just take that away from him. Demonetize his ass,
Oh, that
and
would
he
be the
will
best. Yeah.
evaporate like a fart. Don't
when,
ban him. Just demonetize.
when the Krasensteins got, because they were banned for quite a
Yep.
while. Did that happen right before or right after Elon bought Twitter?
Before,
Because they were,
before.
yeah, because they were banned for botting. I remember.
They got it back because of the whole amnesty thing that where everyone kind of like just said, "Give me my account back," and it worked.
Well, almost everyone, but yeah.
Well, no.
Yeah. It took Fuentes I don't know, like a year to get his account back, but yeah, That's
Because
that's
like
funny.
tranny porn.
And just
Yeah,
real quick,
probably.
this is Mr. Blaster, Booty, if you like, our special guest for the night. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yo, I am so happy to be here. Long time fan,
Pleasure to have you on board,
Well-
sir. So,
long time cat enthusiast.
I was gonna say, so who are you a fan of on the show?
Mr. Cat here.
Yeah, and that's the only one.
You
right?
guys, you guys call him. Well, we're longtime friends in a very secret society.
Uh-huh.
It has nothing to do with pedophilia. Don't worry. It's
No,
not one of those
I know,
secret
you guys-
societies.
You're the original VTubers and furries.
Oh, well, yeah, not exactly, but yeah, no,
I'm sorry, I'm bringing that up because the last guest was not a fail, but was an unknown variable, and I
Oh, yeah.
kind of powered through on the suggestion, and I got burned for it.
yeah.
But I mean, there's potential. for him to be an interesting guest.
oh,
That was
yeah,
me. That was my bad.
I heard about that. Oh, yeah, no, secondhand, I heard about that. That was
That was me. I will take full blame, full credit, and everything else that comes down on my head for it.
Yes, one of our mutual friends said that he got kind of went a little bit scorched earth over that.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little bit trad, a little bit Amish in his ways, and even though he's on the internet for some
you could say.
fucking reason, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was you. That's funny.
Yeah, it is. It is. So
Good times.
there's that.
Who
So,
doesn't love a furry? Anyway,
lots of people, actually. If you can
right.
As it turns out, by happenstance,
yeah, believe it or not,
strange coincidence.
You're never going to believe this, but
Right. Oh, good times.
What brings your booty here?
well, there's I asked our new friend here, well, old friend, well, whatever, our new guest
New old
here.
friend, yes.
Yes, absolutely. I asked him on because there's some insight that he can offer into what is basically one of the largest unfolding scandals that's currently going on right now. Of course, obviously, aside from the whole Alaska thing, there is there's this game. There's this game that a lot of kids like to play called Roblox. And
I heard a lot of kids stop playing that right away as soon as concerned parents told other people to get their kids off that fucking game.
Well, they did, and there's an interesting thing about Roblox. They've got a lot of paid features, and kids don't really. Well, we won't go really into the details. They've got like services like shower with your friends, sleep with your uncle, things like that. Little games.
I thought you were going to mention like Gilded being having a requirement that you have a Roblox account to use it, even though they haven't enforced that yet.
Oh no, they haven't.
Which I'm guessing is going to
be.
No,
they have.
Although
they might.
Maybe it's just the fact that I have a persistent log on, but they haven't like required it because like they keep telling me in the bar at the top whenever I get on it, and it's just like I'm not fucking doing that.
Well, yeah. At this point, it's a little bit of scarlet letter, as it were, to be.
Well, I know that RTO has moved on to Discord specifically because of that from Gilded. So maybe it has happened, and I just haven't logged in a while.
Yeah, not unwise after all. But what's happened there is why I mentioned that is Roblox has to. Yes.
Cat. Okay, so So I know what you're getting to, and but I'm not quite drunk enough to really give an entertaining version of what you're trying to get to. So we should we should backpedal.
I'm just wanting to actually
backpedal a little bit
of an operating theory on Roblox, and we'll get around to
okay.
And that is
because I still think the summit is pretty interesting.
Oh, it is. But I'm on a bit of a tangent. I'd like to mention this because I haven't.
Please, Rare Bear, anything but the Briar Patch.
I would just say,
this Tar Baby. Anyway, so. That said, Roblox has got to fund their servers and all this other shit, and being a game for kids and kids not having money, they've got to get that money in somehow. So there's some talk that maybe
child labor.
Well, in a manner of speaking, yes. The child is the asset for which the labor is exercised. You could say
so, like cadmium mines.
No, more like a circus, I guess.
Okay. So they've run away then.
To it or from it, depending. But what I wonder about it is that they have to pay for the servers. Kids don't have money. They'll get a little bit here and there off their parents, obviously. Maybe steal a credit card here and there.
Tell the Roblox that they're 18 or older.
Also that. And speaking of 18 and older folks generally do have disposable income. And with that being the case, it would seem that that's where a lot of that money's coming from. So we think to ourselves, there's all these kids on here. Lots of kids. It's all marketed to kids. It's a kids service. And there's all these 18 pluses that are on there as well that, they're playing a kids game. One just kind of wonders why. And then we look at some interesting facts around this. Like there's some really interesting usernames. Say for instance, let me scroll back up to here where I had some of those listed here. What was the one? I think it was Cooney Calico at under 18 Diddler. The under 18 toucher at under 18 toucher, under 18 old enjoyer 123 at under 18 old enjoyer 123. Those are some interesting names, wouldn't you say? They evoke a certain aesthetic, one might say.
Aesthetic.
Yeah. Yeah, you know,
It sounds like they're evoking the that's fascinating. Keep digging aesthetic.
Oh yes, yes. There's a lot to dig into there. But we've got a really weird situation on that, and of course, my friend Booty here, he'll have a we got a little bit more insight into that as we get along.
Is your name Booty Blaster on Roblox?
I am not on Roblox. Don't
Okay.
no.
Because my
No,
next
no.
question
Let's clip that right now. We can put that.
No,
animal to
I
bed.
believe you.
This is the thing.
Has anyone checked your booty?
Well, my doctor, because yeah,
That's fair.
once you get to a certain age, yeah, they start checking your booty because otherwise you get prostate cancer and die. But anyway,
Exactly. And you have to choose:
You
am
gotta
I
keep
going
your
to be
finger on
gay or
top
am
of
I
these
going to
things,
die?
yeah. Well, whatever. Yeah, maybe.
Pointer or index, depending. But yeah, you know.
Yeah, maybe it's conspiracy theory just to make old men bi-curious. I don't know, but whatever. Anyway, no, I'm not. But you bring up regardless of that comment,
Right.
you bring up a good point, which is that I don't know anyone who I personally like. I know quite a few gamers because I game. I'm a bit of a gameophile, a bit of a gameaholic, you could say.
All in good company.
And I don't
I
I don't personally know any person any I don't know anyone else like even remotely my age or just over the age of like 20 that unironically plays Roblox. No one.
Right.
Like I like the only people I know who play Roblox that are like over that age are people who are like streamers who are doing it like kind of ironically for like, you know, funny Roblox, you know, stupid content that they can stream.
I know
Other
one
than
person,
that,
I know one person who's actually older than me by a year or two, who does play Roblox, and it's because she plays with her kids.
Okay.
And
Well.
that's
fair.
I
I
could see that.
Reasonable.
It's the only reason an adult should be playing Roblox, frankly, at this point, or
especially
in
with kids.
That's the context.
Yeah, I don't pass any value. It's not like whatever, but it's like why would an older person play what is obviously like I understand that there are like certain servers that have like basically like 1-for-1 recreations of stuff like Counter-Strike and things because I've seen that streamed and like they'll have like recreations of different like other video games, but they do it in Roblox, which is kind of cool, I guess. But like why wouldn't you just play Counter-Strike? Or wouldn't you just if you want to play like a game that looked like that, why wouldn't you just go play Minecraft or a number of other games?
I bet you
like,
that part of it is that I bet you part of it is that Roblox is a little less clunky about it when it comes to actually updating logic in the game, whereas Minecraft can be clunky. But
well, I mean, yeah, it's voxels, but I mean,
the point's still there.
Yeah, I don't understand like why. And maybe there's a reason for it. I don't know, but like as a gamer, I don't see why someone who is above the age of 18 would, or even the age of like 16, would even look at Roblox twice as far as like an actual leisure pursuit. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's completely reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is a kids game. I mean, it's kind of like Fall Guys or something like that. It's like, or you know, a lot of the Wii games, although those are kind of fun, like when you're at a party and drunk with other people. But like they're games that are made for kids. They're like kids games that are made to be like we're jumping around and like swinging tennis rackets virtually on a thing or whatever. Like it's that kind of entertainment. It's not like It's not an actual game that, you know, kind of activates anything other than like monkey parts of your, like, you know, cerebellum or whatever your
Yeah, the lower parts. Of
whatever
your
part of your brain
Yeah,
that is your brain stem.
Your basic reactionary stuff. You know, nothing major. You're not thinking too deep on this stuff. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Speaking of not thinking too deep, we should probably mention the recent Roblox statement out of David Bazuki. I don't know how you say this. Anyway.
Yeah, but look, you guys are making everything
or
worse.
Something like that.
Look, we don't have a pedo problem, but if we did, you guys are making it worse.
Yeah.
Also, the police aren't right about you doing a good job for them.
To which
and that is the real like controversy. But yeah, go ahead with a statement.
We saw that Mr. Hansen is going to be looking into that. Sorry,
well,
not is going to. Has
I'll read his very brief statement on Twitter here, and then I'll read the community note. Safety and civility have always been our top priority. Here's an update on our safety releases over the past few weeks, including our updated approach to vigilantism. We also preview additional releases in the works, and a community note there, of course, being Roblox has a history of refusing to take action against sexual predators, with 4 separate links from around the world related to that. And then, of course, Roblox itself, following that up later on to say CEO David Bazuki sits down with Roblox safety leaders to share how we're advancing safety and civility on the platform. Here are some of the key topics they covered. Trusted connections and age estimation, why we renamed friends to connections, sensitive issues, vigilantism, policy for games with private spaces and community safety council, investing more heavily in our partnerships and opening sourcing our technology, rolling out violative scene detection, and also investigating turning Roblox into a place where you can do dating. Oh, sorry, they didn't mention that here. They mentioned that one elsewhere, that Roblox could be a dating site.
Wow. Yeah, and given the current state of affairs, that is the most tone-deaf shit.
Yeah. And, of course, their follow-up also got a community note, being that not only has Roblox retained a history of ignoring child predator issues, but also has a history of ignoring issues in the Roblox community as a whole, from silencing critics, suing those who speak out, to terminating those, schlep, who catch child predators with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different links, to which the aforementioned schlep, at Real Schlep, says, are we serious right now? You're upset that I was reporting information to the police before reporting it to Roblox, and then has a quote from their message to him as to why he's banned, being 1503 on other platforms to create situations, 1508 that they would then video, they would report to the police, and then only after would they let Roblox know. And that's an uncomfortable
time for them
thing
to
to
rug
say.
sweep? Time for them to clean up a little bit?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, they need some cleansing fires or something at the very least on this one.
Now, see, when we talked the other night, Kat, we were talking about. After we talked, when I was at work, I was listening to a few videos on YouTube about this situation to get better educated on this. I heard about the whole schlep thing.
Yeah.
And I'm curious about the timeline of events because it actually sounded like Schlep actually tried to go to Roblox before he went to the police. But maybe he went to the. I'm curious, like what the timeline of that is, because if he was going to the police before Roblox, then maybe they're like Roblox could get a little bit defensive about that. It still doesn't nearly excuse them at all, because like they should be taking way more proactive measures on them. This isn't like whatever, but like the read that I heard earlier was way worse. That he was going to Roblox first, and Roblox was basically like,
Well, as I
yeah,
said in those
well,
notes,
we'll
and
look into it, and then nothing happened. The accounts were still active, and there was like
it wouldn't be
they
the
were
first,
still
second, third, fourth, or fifth time that someone's reported somebody for this kind of bullshit, and they've done absolutely
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, if like that's the thing. Like if you go to Roblox, I mean, I don't know why the order really matters, because I mean, like, you know, being a pedo is still being a pedo. But like if you give the company at least time to get rid of them while you're going through a legal process, then I guess like that would be the better way to go, I think. I don't know. Like,
well, I mean, look, if I'm a cop and I hear there's a pedophile on platform X, and I came to you first, as a cop, I would probably think, or as a detective, I'd probably think, let's go get the pedophile, not how dare this service exist. But if I was a detective and I went to them 5, 6, 10, however many times, got zero action, and then I came to you, as a person receiving that story, I hear there's more than one and they're running the damn place.
Yeah, it raises some really uncomfortable questions.
So,
oh no,
they had a choice, and they fucked that up, in my opinion.
Oh, royally, even.
Like, and their tone deaf hour-long bullshit escapade today, that just totally sunk it for me. There's no there's no saving that platform in my mind right now, because they're in the fucking henhouse. Like it's a problem. The company has the problem. It's no longer just the servers where pedophiles congregate and then try to entice kids in. The fucking company has a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to talk or hear about the term community safety, because that term community safety has been used for so many fucking terrible censorship issues on like so many platforms, especially back in the day. I think this may have happened before we came on the air, but we were talking about like back in the bad old days during the Biden administration and during the Trump administration too. Trump won. Honestly, like when like everyone was censoring everything, big tech was just like shutting everything down.
Oh, you mean
and a lot of that was done. A lot of that was done under the guise of community safety. So I hate to talk about community safety, but in this case, like this is really like this isn't like a censorship community safety issue. This is an actual community safety issue. I mean, you got
children
kids
are literally unsafe.
Yeah. And now it's not like it's an internet issue in this case. The problem is, even if the parents are doing the good parent thing, these pedophiles are not being gotten rid of by the platform. It's not like, this is not like, hey, your kid went into the wrong place and they experienced some adult content in a place that was very clear about the fact that it's for adults only. It's pedophiles.
No, this is Roblox. Yeah, this is a kid's game.
This is creepers on the fucking playground.
And you don't need to ban. You don't need to like require ID on the internet to.
Well, on that note, there's a really good comment on here from Chibi Reviews. The Roblox situation is going to be used to get the Kids Online Safety Act and Screen Act passed in the United States. Mark my words. You know what? I can see every piece of shit from Lindsey Graham to fucking Thune going balls deep on this shit. Absolutely can see it.
And that is such a worst case scenario when it's just all it takes is a corporate culture over there at Roblox that just gives just a half of a shit about its user base, like a tenth of a shit about protecting kids. But
here's the question:
doesn't seem like they do.
Why is the response not to immediately forward on that information to the FBI and the local PD if they have location? Why is that not the immediate internal response? To immediately send that off and then to, in parallel, work to gather that data to provide to the investigators?
Well,
Like that's what a rational, sane person, like that's what a parent would expect if they were running the company.
Yeah.
Well, right. I mean, but even more basic than that. I mean, yeah, you're completely right. If there's actual evidence of literal
Right.
like, hey, I'm 13. Haha, I like daisies and unicorns, and you're like, I want to see your pussy. Like, if there's any of that shit going down on your server, and you catch
Right.
it,
Or even
then
if there's
obviously,
not, and you have
obviously,
under 18 underscore diddler replying to someone that's like, teehee, I'm 13. With anything at all. Because your name is
Well-
literally at under 18 diddler.
And look, at that point, you can hand that off to the police and wash your hands of it, because the police show up and the person whose name is at under 18 diddler
Like,
turns out to be some 14-year-old edgelord. Sucks to be
okay.
him, and his parents suddenly have a good reason to ground his ass for a week, or a month
Right.
or whatever.
and
Like that
I'm
is
not-
the best case scenario right there.
I'm not disagreeing with any of that. You're completely right. But the fucked up thing is that the even more immediate thing you do as a company in a situation like that as triage is because I mean, obviously you keep logs of all that shit as a company,
Well,
all
also
that
just
questionable
shut down both
shit.
accounts.
oh, fuck
But
me.
you-
There's pages
Exactly.
of things like
The
this.
immediate first thing you should do is just immediately deactivate that account. Ban.
Well, I don't. Well, that's
And-
the thing is, I wouldn't deactivate the one account. I would deactivate both into the kid account. Suspected.
Oh, man. There's.
I would put it on the
there's
log. I
so
would put on the
many.
screen when they try to log back in. Your account may have been the victim of a child predator. Police have been informed.
Okay, well that's a little. Well, I mean, that's
that
one
would
way
get
to
the
look at it.
parents.
That's
That gets
kind of
the parents
hardcore.
involved. That's
But
that gets the parents involved, and then they can maybe they can do an unlock, but like that at least gets that is a wake up call. That needs to be there.
Okay, well, I mean that's a more hardline view
Let me
of looking
rephrase
at.
it.
I mean, and I'm not immediately disagreeing with you.
Well,
I
I'll
don't know if
rephrase
I
it
would
as not
take
banning,
that,
but like locking it rather than banning, I guess.
Locking it for a certain period of time. Okay, maybe,
Sure.
but at the very least, the company would be immediately terminating that account, the offending account. The let me see your vagina. That account. They would just be like, nope, done. But the thing is, they're not. Like
Well,
all
one
of
of
these
these
accounts
accounts
that
that they found
Schlepp
here-
like brought up,
One of these accounts is
like
from
those
2020.
accounts. Yeah, go ahead.
That's it. One of these accounts. Well, let's see here. At Looking for Minors has existed since for fucking 5 years and a month.
Well, but yeah, no, none of from what I understood, at least in what I heard, and this might not be correct, but like from what I heard is that all of the accounts that Schlepp reported to Roblox, none of those accounts got terminated, and all of those accounts were basically doing the, pussy talk shit with like someone who was identifying as 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
So like.
Jesus Christ.
Like all of these accounts are staying up, and like
they
and
banned
and,
Schlepp.
and even people that have went to prison, like even people that went to prison for like child molestation charges, and they brought that up to Roblox, those accounts have still remained active. Like they don't ban anyone for any child diddling thing.
That should be a specific TOS violation.
Yeah,
I would
I mean,
think-
it's a fucking
You
game
would
for
think.
minors.
You fucking think.
Like,
You would
if
kinda
not
hope.
for making an account, then at least for if you contact any minor on and we see that, then you're gone. Like not even like not like two lines that start in like how old are you, and as soon as they get anything, it's gone. It's off the fucking platform. Man, that's a platform issue. That's not an internet issue, and I know how that's going to be framed for the couple of bullshit bills going through. It's just it's amazing because again the it's going to be a non sequitur and it's going to be a Mott and Bailey, and it's just fucking flagrant. No opportunity goes wasted with fucking these political monsters.
Well, in the immortal words of Rahm
Animals.
Emanuel, you don't let a crisis go to waste.
Well, I don't know. Like Roblox has taken a crisis and not done shit with it. They just
Well, I mean, to be fair, they
ignored
are
it.
not letting it go to waste. They're really advertising to what seems like their core audience. Let's be fair. I mean, they're kind of reaching out to the people that they really kind of love and care for, and seem to pay their bills.
I wonder, do they pay extra?
Make of that
do they
what
pay
you
extra
will.
to find kids?
The thing is that their core audience is kids. I highly doubt that. I mean, I would like to believe that we live in a world where at least like not more than like 10% of the Roblox user base is pedophiles. And so if you remove
I mean, it would
that,
be great if it's
it
less than 10%.
really
honestly.
But
you did mishear me because I said, do they like let pedophiles pay extra to find out where more kids are?
Well, get more messages.
There's got to be there's got to be like at least a financial, if not other reason for them, besides being pedophiles themselves.
Well,
there has to be some incentive for them to be protecting these motherfuckers.
Well,
I think it could just be.
About. The thing is,
I think it just could be like gross.
Games. Like
I think it just could be gross incompetence. I don't think I don't want to immediately.
I mean, that would be a reason. So there is
like
that, but yeah.
It is like there are companies that are so like. There are CEOs that have run enough failed startups that end up like at the head of something really successful. They remember so many failures that when they actually get a user base, they are so terrified of losing any like kind of a momentum that they won't do anything like that jeopardizes that at all, even when it's something that is like obviously the right thing to do. Like this could be one of those situations. I don't know. I won't ascribe anything to actual malice here, but it is like at the very least gross incompetence. Like this is not fucking like good at all.
Well, there is something noteworthy that's happening in that regard, and we might get some answers. So what's happened, this is just yesterday, the Louisiana Attorney General has brought suit against Roblox for allegedly enabling child predators. Quote, Roblox is overrun with harmful content and child predators because it prioritizes user growth, revenue, and profits over child safety. So when it comes to discovery,
that DA's Roblox account so terminated.
You know it. You fucking know
it. Good one.
So
that's gonna be a fucking joke for a decade because of this dumb shit.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, you know how many Robux I paid?
So on the note of societal harm and potential long-term effects, perhaps you might elucidate what could happen theoretically to somebody that's been in a situation like this. Perchance.
Are you trying to cue me into?
Yep.
See, this is why I was. God damn it! We couldn't have got. There was so much more to talk about with the summit earlier. Okay,
well,
fine.
We can get back to that. We're on topic.
We do wander topics. We'll get back to it.
All right. Well,
you'll say something interesting, and we'll go on that note.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever. I have a wireless headset, so I can get more beer while I'm fucking doing this. Anyway. So yeah, I was on a website, a social website, and an 18-year-old slid into my DMs, and we got to talking.
It's a bold young lady.
And yeah, well, I didn't know she was 18, and then I asked her how old she is, and she's like 18, and I'm like, oh. But anyway, she kept talking to me.
Clarify that before the show, just so everybody knows.
Yeah. What'd you say?
It was not Lil Tay.
No, it was not Little Tay. I would be much richer if it was.
Yeah, maybe in jail, but anyway.
No. Anyway, so we kept talking, whatever. Anyway, we kind of started a thing, and it was a little bit of a long distance relationship. We actually did end up meeting. She came over from a Midwestern state to, for a few weeks. And anyway, but so we had a thing going on for a year or so. Anyway, at any rate, we were talking, and she was, and I forget how this came up, but like we were talking about something, and like she mentioned like some other like handle she had. I was like, okay, well, where's that handle from? That doesn't sound. And she's like, oh, well, that's my old Roblox handle. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, how long ago were you on Roblox? And she was like, oh, it was when I was like, 12, 14 or whatever. And so I was like, huh, okay. And, whatever, kept talking. And the subject came up or something. I forget how it came up, but it was like, we were talking about like her interest in older men. It was like, because I'm quite a bit older than her. And
sure, of course.
And I'm like, am I the oldest guy you ever talked to? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, that's a fucking lie. What's actually the deal?
That's a weird reaction, yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, okay, maybe they were older. And I was like, okay, well, so just out of curiosity, like, where are you talking to these guys? And guess what she said?
Wow.
Roblox. Yeah.
So that was what, circa 2019 or something?
Well, timeline.
I mean,
it was a few years ago.
Well, that just leans into it even worse. That means that this has been a problem for a while.
Yeah. So
a while.
So like 2022, 2023, this would have been 20.
Oh shit, 20.
Yeah, so she's talking about 20.
Oh damn.
Well, no.
That's like 17, 18 then when this would have happened. So that's even worse.
Yeah, it's like 1918 or something like that.
Wow.
And the fucked up thing, and yeah, and she told me a couple stories about like what went on there, and apparently at one time she had a bit of a harem. Didn't actually meet any of these guys, but like there were apparently multiple
safety
older men that were sexting her on Roblox when she was no older than 16 and probably closer to 12. Yeah, so I ended up
that might have influenced something, huh?
Yeah, no, I ended up I was the
impression.
I was not a groomer, but I was the beneficiary of grooming. So
yeah, that would feel really
yay me, I guess. But the fucked up thing is that she had a younger sister.
Oh, really?
Who who was still on Roblox, and she was 13 at the time that we were talking. No, she was 12. Oh. She was 12.
You don't
say.
Alrighty then.
And after she was like done telling me all this shit, I was like, have you thought about like telling your sister to get the fuck off of there? And
Yeah,
she's
really.
like, well, she really likes it. And
Yeah,
it's just
I mean,
like
for
kind
that, she
of
probably
like
gets all kinds of
something
cool
that she.
gifts
I was
and
like, and I was just like,
No.
and this is one of those things where you try to get through to women, and it's like, oh my god, like, do you not like? This is not like even
Female,
from like
heal yourself.
a coming of age kind of like like point of view. This is still not right. Like you can just tell her to like go to the like local
this isn't
pool
going
hall
to the
and meet
sock
some.
hop with your fucking
Yes.
crush. This is a lot
You
closer
gotta-
to that fucking really bad story that that one black
Yeah, tell her to go to
comedian
this-
lady that was saying it's like there's this guy down on the block. If you needed $20, you go see him, and he'll give you $20. All you got to do is take off some clothes, dance around a little bit. You got $20. Like that's not exactly normal,
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just go down to the skate park and there's plenty of horny 14, 16-year-old boys that are down there, if that's like whatever. Because I know that like a lot of the stuff that goes on Roblox is like has nothing to do with playing the fucking game.
Yeah, there's a couple
that's
of
all I know about it.
super sus mini games that people have made on there. The only one I can remember is like a bathroom simulator and a showering simulator, I think.
And to be fair, there are some like really clever developers that make some really good mods for that. I've seen them streamed, and they actually look like really well made. I'm like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. So there is stuff like that goes on there, but there's that social aspect of Roblox that is like that's undeniable. It's been there forever, and it's just like really gross. And if there was just a little bit, just a modicum, because you can never like completely get rid of the problem, but like just a modicum of community safety there.
Well, I think you can get rid of the problem.
Nah, you
You
never.
just have to be willing to.
In a kid's game, there are always going to be pedophiles in the Chuck E. Cheeses. No matter how many police officers you put around the place, they'll still be there. But like you can do a lot to kind of mitigate it.
Yes, Craig. Even wood chippers. There's only so much wood chippers can do. So
Hush your whore mouth.
Exactly.
They are so much better at getting rid of pedophiles than the police are. Look, the problem once it's buried doesn't grow back. It's just advanced gardening.
Well, actually, they sprout little baby pedophile shoots that grow out of the ground, grow into
in a way of speaking,
pedophile trees.
Kind of. I mean, there's that island.
This stream's making me feel like I need to find a gun to start cleaning.
Well, the thing about that is you always want your tools to be in good working order.
If we're on YouTube, I love you.
Right.
Yeah, no. I mean, there is nothing wrong
with
cleaning, your implements and making sure that all of your tools and implements are
keep them in good working order, man.
Absolutely. Like if you got a knife, you want it to be sharp. If you got a gun, you want it to be, clean. If you got a drill, you want it to be adequately lubricated, have your battery charged, all sorts of things like that.
Look, if you've got like a proper meat cleaver, you got to make sure it's nice and sharp. If you've taken a little bit off the edge over the years, you might want to go ahead and tack another line on the back of it to give it the heft.
But, on that note, there's a man who has never been unplugged. Well, there was a short time when John McCain was gone when he was lacking his favorite plug. But anyway, Lindsey Graham said that he's warning if Americans pull the plug on Israel, that God will pull the plug on us. Yeah. I find.
See, why do people do things like this?
Right?
It's so fucking retarded.
And then, on top of that,
what advantage was there to saying this? You're not getting the Jewish vote when you say shit like that. Like that's insanity. That makes every Jew's life in the United States harder. Like the only people he's appealing to there are evangelicals. As far as I understand,
his Judeo-Christian base, I guess you could say.
I mean, there's like Judeo-Christian, and then there's whatever the fuck that noise is. Like, look, they might be our foothold in the region, like for better or worse. Like that's our presence in the Middle East. Besides our like one base in Jordan, like Israel is basically our presence there, the same way Colombia is our presence in South America. But flexing that for finances, as a politician is just it's like crass doesn't go far enough, but it's exactly what I'm trying to imply with the intonation there.
Wait, what did you say was? What did you say
crass.
was our? What did you say was our foothold in South America?
No, Colombia.
Colombia.
Huh.
It is. Well, for instance, that's why we were trying to send aid across to Venezuela from Colombia. It's because we're able to.
Well, Venezuela definitely ain't a foothold.
As socialist as the government in Colombia can get, when it swings that way, and look at Biden no further for similar context here in the States. Like they are somewhat dependent upon us. If you might have seen how quickly they backed down when we were shoving some of their citizens back at them. The president sent his own planes to pick them up for a reason.
That did happen.
Yeah.
Old Maduro, he was quick to change his mind.
No. We're talking about Colombia.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Swing and a miss.
No, you're right.
I mean, you're not wrong.
No,
you're not wrong about
Maduro
Maduro.
did the same thing. But yeah, no, you're
yes,
right.
Because he saw a great example next door.
No,
I think Maduro wants to keep his head, and he just had his bounty doubled, which is great. I mean, it's ineffective because they did the same thing to Trump before he doubled the bounty on Maduro.
True.
Like, I don't know if you saw that, but Maduro's issues effectively a Venezuelan fatwa on Trump. Says here's the price on his head. Go get him, narcos. And so his response was 25 million. It needs to be 50.
That's actually kind of scary, given the amount of Venezuelans Biden let in the last 4 years.
Yeah. No shit. Like the Pakis didn't pull it off, the Iranians didn't pull it off. Now they're going with the Venezuelans, and they, Tren de Aragua and MS-13, like those gangs, like they've got some pull in some places, like Aurora, Colorado. Just off the top of the head.
Or
they're all over the states. They're all over the states, and that's the thing is what he should also do is start issuing. He should bring back bounty warrants, dead or alive bounty warrants. Well, it's wanted dead or alive, effectively a license to kill. Preferably not, but
you put a higher reward on a living, captive. That way you can you help
half off for the dead bodies.
I don't think that law actually. You can actually do that in a state in America.
Well, I don't think we can do that. I think
that kind of shit was only done in territories, if I remember correctly.
So that was allowed in some states before the Mexican session. I think that was kind of the end of that.
Oh, and real quickly.
That existed. That existed in some of the territories in the Wild West, but I don't know if it ever existed in a state.
Well, I think frontier states were still doing some of that stuff at the state level. Until the Mexican session kind of bought it out, and in theory, the problem was somewhat resolved there. Because federal law
wasn't the Mexican session like 1847?
Yeah, it was right before we decided to crack the country in half.
Yeah. So, no, because I've seen one Dead or Alive posters from the actual Wild West that weren't in movies. Like they did exist, but I'm pretty sure they were in territories. I don't know if they were ever issued in states. They might have been, especially some really
may not have been
kind of rowdy states like Kansas that were like really kind of torn apart by the Civil War. But yeah, they as far as like it actually being in a state that actually has constitutional law, I don't think that passes muster, because you kind of the Constitution kind of frowns on that.
Keep in mind that the supremacy clause wasn't flexed as hard until we went from these United States to this United States.
Yeah, true.
Well, right, but I mean, like the wild or the era of the Wild West was after the Civil War. So, I mean, that
is to say,
but
just after the Civil War.
Well, that's why I brought it up that way.
Anyway, it was before all of statehood.
Far enough.
But anyway, I wanted to go back to your point of Israel being a foothold. Yeah, I see.
Well, it's a presence more than a foothold. It's our presence there.
I kind of am of the I'm of the mind that we really should kind of give up the game of empire. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be.
Well, it wasn't a statement of is or ought. Or, sorry, it wasn't a statement of ought. It was a statement of is. Like, just de facto, that is our presence in the region is in Israel.
Yeah, but
I mean, Saudi Arabia is slowly coming to terms with us, but they're not like our big friends just yet. Jordan is probably the closest we have to that besides Israel, and that's because we just happen to have a base there.
But okay, so like, let me put it to you this way: what kind of foothold do we have in someplace like Central Asia?
Let's see. The Philippines kind of like us.
Really, Central Asia?
Central Asia.
I get what you're saying. It's like Pakistan is actually friendlier with us than we let on.
Pakistan is fucking. Pakistan is.
I said friendlier. Friendlier with us than we.
They're quote unquote ally. Quote
exactly.
Quote.
That's about as good as you're gonna get from them.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I'm saying, like, there's a lot of places in the world where we don't, like, you know, if we're talking about like the like Southeast Asia, it's like, where's our foothold there?
We
it's
might
like
get Russia.
We have friends, but we don't have like foothold.
We might get enough trade partnerships with Russia to be able to make that claim. I mean, you know, and it does go in reverse. Like, Colombia gets effectively favors out of us.
Oh, but to answer your question, the Philippines.
Favorable stuff. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Well, that's it. I mean, the Philippines. We're
I was gonna say, I'll ramble here if you don't shut me up, as you know.
Yeah, no. We've got pretty good ties with the Philippines, and that's probably our actual foothold in that region. Japan.
Well, Japan is our bitch.
Do you know what the only country? Do you know the only other country? There's one obvious country. I forget which country it is. There are two countries that have net favorability. When they pull them, net favorability ratings for America, meaning that more than half of their population thinks that America is cool.
Well, I know one of them is Japan.
There's
Australia.
No, it's not.
No, I know it's not.
But one of them is in Southeast Asia, and it's not the Philippines.
Oh, it certainly isn't Malaysia.
You'll never guess what it is.
Okay.
It's Vietnam.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah,
well. To be fair, there's a lot of American blood in Vietnam. Cough.
Well, it's trade. So the end of the Spanish, the end of the war, the 100 Years' War, was really like, that was the lesson that most country leaders are supposed to understand, which is that commerce crushes wars. It stops them from happening, and it ends them permanently once you can establish commerce after the fact. That is the major lesson from the 100 Years' War and the American Revolution. You know, afterwards, who became our friends?
Economists nowadays have a different name for that. I think they call it the McDonald's rule. Is that no two country that have a McDonald's in them has ever gone to war?
That's fair.
That's
not true. That's not true.
in Russia.
that's not true. I was going to say Russia has McDonald's, and even though they closed, because
No, they didn't.
people
They
decided
did.
that's
but
what
they'll
I'm getting
open
to.
again.
That's what I'm getting to. They closed because because of the whole SWIFT thing and McDonald's not being able to control any of that. They reopened independently, and then after that got undone because dumbass in chief theoretically signed something else. I don't know if they were able to bring them back in as franchisees again after that. I think they might have stayed independent.
Well, we're not. Well, it doesn't matter. We're not at war with Russia, except
We're
unless
proxy.
there's a McDonald's in Ukraine.
there are.
Even if there is a McDonald's in Ukraine,
There is.
there isn't a McDonald's in Russia, so the rule still stands. So,
Every rule
undefeated.
every rule has an exception that proves it. So I'm willing to concede that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the same thing you're talking about. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
wherever free enterprise, because people don't want to lose money. The people in power, they like money more than they like blood.
Oh, on that note, actually,
Usually.
something I should definitely
Usually.
mention, because this is a little bit of a breaking news bit that I didn't see a lot on. Speaking of loving money and power more than bloodshed, we won't mention Zelensky because cough. But anyway, we will mention Mexico because
Wait, who are we not mentioning? I missed that.
that guy who's going to he better wear a fucking suit on Monday. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's,
He better wear a fucking suit is all I'm fucking saying. And it better be nice. That motherfucker better have a fucking lapel pin and like a little rose.
he better have a big shit-eating grin on his face too.
Oh, he better. And if
For
that
getting his
motherfucker
ass to
didn't
the
bring in a
table.
fucking gift or something, then...
Look, and it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be his firstborn, or the
You
firstborn
know,
sons he's
like
been
a
wasting.
nice little engraved Ukrainian something.
You know what?
Pretty, some Matroska dolls.
How about, like,
something.
It could even be something as simple as a map of the entirety of Ukraine and like the Ukraine as he sees it, and then just let Putin laugh at that and say, "What poor little child," and then move on.
Personally, I think any world leader should be able to wear whatever any world leader wants to wear. I honestly thought like Stalin's drip was pretty base. The whole burlap sack fucking thing just draped over him with like some buttons, and he just called it a day. I thought
we got
that
a lot
was-
of those
I mean,
guys.
if we're
Great.
talking drip, we
Yeah,
have to
you got
be
a ton of
honest
those
here.
guys. They live in the street.
But I mean,
But I do agree with you. I do completely agree with you, Kat. I think that like if you're coming to beg for money
yeah, when you're coming from
a
position
guy
of weakness,
who is Donald Trump, like yeah, you're gonna
Especially
wear a
after
suit.
insulting him. Especially after insulting him.
yeah, he
Yeah,
didn't even
no,
say
no.
thank you.
Did you say please? I love those.
Did you say
JD
pretty
Vance.
please with a cherry on top?
Oh yeah, it's
The
just
Vance edits.
just a real quick aside since you mentioned that, because we really probably ought to. JD was over in Great Britain here over the past couple days.
Oh, he
And-
was.
Yes, he was, and they put up
Did he do
some
the dad walk?
signs and some screens and some vans with the screens on the side with JD.
You know what they didn't say on them? I can tell you exactly what they didn't say on them.
Please.
They didn't say Islam is right about women.
They probably didn't. And the funny thing is, I bet you if he saw any of those, he had a good chuckle.
Oh, yeah.
Because
First thing I would do if I was in a position like that is start sending out the memes myself. But that might actually crush creativity, so I don't know.
and
Like,
speaking
I might have to hold back on that.
Oh yeah, and speaking of the memes too, he got to meet with like the most British of British dudes, and have a pint, and it was as they say
Carl?
a bosh.
Was it Carl? Because that'd be funny.
No, it was
He might actually get Donald Trump to say Gamergate one day.
some fucking day. All right, let me see. What's that fucking guy's name? Tom Skinner.
Guy.
Yeah.
Thomas Skinner, the
Yeah, he met
Abosh
with
guy.
Thomas Skinner. Yeah.
Abosh.
Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, there's a picture of him. It's like, they're all buddy, like arm over the shoulder and everything. Oh, it's great.
Oh, that's fucking based.
I know, right? How
That-
good is that?
That guy is like the voice of
Apparently
the modern
Probably going to be running for mayor
Anglo-Saxon.
of London. Mayor
What?
Skinner
Good, I hope he
of
wins.
London. I do too.
No, there's no way he wins.
Oh,
In
I mean-
they
London.
won't let that shit happen, but it might be that people are just so fucking
Well,
angry.
that's
that
because
it
they all
does.
have machetes. You gotta remember who lives there.
No, it's not that they won't let that shit happen. It's just that they've been completely replaced in London. I mean, London right now is like what, maybe 60%
Londonistan?
white at best.
Yeah, there is that. It's not a good
It's-
situation, but who knows? Who knows? Things could happen, but it's not looking good. It'll still be good to see something like that happen. It might activate the eternal Anglo one hopes.
And he is like the most wholesome, just like happy
He is
Brit.
the dude
Like
that the Romans saw wearing fucking woad, throwing rocks and laughing at them as they came into the British Isles. They saw a bunch of dudes like Tom Skinner.
Dude, every time I see him just like at a pub, just being like, "Oh, governor, just throwing back a point of mushy peas," and just like,
And you know
like
how we
everything
do our
about
gravy, we don't even look.
we don't even look. Dude, just every time I see that, it's just like, I'm not British, but even I'm like, oh man, like, why can't we go back to this? Why can't we be this again?
Truly, we must return.
We
As
we
they
must
say. And Britain,
read to Vern.
Britain fucking especially. But on the note of return, we should also probably talk about someone that's looking to maybe
Return to
not be
sender?
in such. Oh, there's some returns that'll be occurring, but they're looking to get into better graces. That's going to be Mexico, and they're going to be sending us 26 people, representatives, you might say, high-ranking representatives of the cartel, various cartels, and they'll be here in chains. So I think Miss Scheinbaum probably, while she was busy rubbing her hands and thinking of all the monies that she might lose, kind of thought that it would be better to maybe send a gift instead of maybe having U.S. military forces on Mexican land. Maybe,
I mean,
we'll have to see how
thinking
it
that
plays
maybe
from
the
there, but
I'm thinking maybe having U.S. forces on Mexican land is still warranted.
Oh, I agree. Well, see, the cartels still exist, and now that they've sent those 26 over, we can get very specific intel and make sure that the operations are very surgical and precise.
So what you're saying is that she acquired power using true believers in the cartels, and then now she's tossing them on the wall? That sounds oddly familiar.
You could say that that's exactly what's happening. That would not be an inaccurate statement.
That is spooky. Where did that happen before?
That sounds
a few
very
times before, right?
sacrificial.
Huh.
It happened a few times
That
in
sounds
history, I
like
believe.
that sounds like.
I don't think she's an Aztec. She's not an Aztec or a Mayan. So that's one thing.
I would, yeah, you're probably right. She's not.
I
Not either of those things.
I don't think that's her tribe. As you might
Yeah,
say.
no,
But
no, not Jacob of Chichen Itza.
no, indeed. No, indeed.
That's good.
No, but I think that I think the cartels are too much embedded in the Mexican government, where
That's okay.
where
We got enough guns.
if she's making that kind of like the
Gesture.
Mexicans they love their sacrifices. They have throughout history.
Well, it's a
And
good
so she's making one, but she's making one of the very little fish. She's not going to hand over any big fish.
Well,
Like, we had to
say
catch
high
El
ranking, but
Chapo.
what
Yeah.
does high ranking
They
really
didn't.
mean? Yeah.
But high ranking in the
We'll figure that out.
cartels.
That's what the headlines say, but
Yeah, well, I
the
doubt.
headlines also say that the Online Safety Act will protect the kids. So again, make of it all what you
Well,
will.
anything for the children.
Well, yeah, won't you think of those children? Won't you think of them?
Well, we do know that for whatever reason, from what I've heard, cartel activity as far as homicides in Mexico is down right now by a pretty considerable amount. So
Very
like
good.
they're settling down for some reason. Don't know why.
Well, they don't want
but
Daddy to come home.
yeah, I mean, you might be right. Maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
there's this
Right
whole
now,
sowing thing, and then it often leads to reaping. And I have a feeling that they might have some accountants that are like, hey, we've got a really high tally over here in the sowing side, and we haven't really reaped much.
As a country that has a significant history of farming, you'd think that they have like a decent almanac by now to see when the reaping and the sowing have.
Yeah, you'd think they'd have those cycles down, especially with their control of the avocado trade and everything. You'd think that they'd really understand the. You got to sow a new crop, so that when the old one gets winnowed, as it were, you've still got something growing. But,
okay.
I mean, they can, they can just go ahead and re-put the
agricultural reference aside.
You can hear the comfort in that one.
But the one thing that I do gotta say,
fields, so I mean, it is what it is.
The one thing I do gotta say about that is like superior about America, and this is something that I've always been kind of fascinated with, a little bit acoustically, is organized crime and how America basically invented it. Specifically, Lucky Luciano and Meyer Lansky invented it. And yes, Meyer Lansky being, yeah. But but the idea that you run crime, like all these like criminal syndicates all throughout history in America and in other countries were just all these warring factions, all basically like doing crime, but also just in the business of killing everyone else around them because they were just like all criminals and that's all they could think about is just like how to sell the scores and just be bastards. Like the American like Lucky Luciano was really like the Steve Jobs of like the 1930s.
They corporatized the whole deal. It's like,
because he saw it as a business. He was like, this isn't about like just slitting throats. This is about making money. And what's going to make us the most money? And so he developed the commission. And then like, we give a lot like the mafia a lot of like bad rap, and they deserve, some of it. But the thing is that after he came in,
the neighborhoods were clean.
They became regimented, and they had very set rules as far as like how they were going to sell drugs. Well,
if they were even going to sell drugs for that matter.
Yeah,
like,
it was mostly gambling. Yeah, it was mostly prostitution. Yeah. It was mostly like racketeering, numbers games and stuff like that. But they were like, we'll be doing this in a very like regimented way. Money flows up to the top. You can't hit someone unless we give the green light for you to hit them, kind of thing. And
don't involve
like
civilians. All of that. And case in point.
Yeah.
Case in fucking point. Las Vegas is dying every day. They're losing numbers because all of Vegas.
But they're not right now. Not really.
Well, largely, yeah. They're actually doing okay now, but they've
yeah.
been on
Why is that? Well, that's the thing. Why is that?
Private equity.
Their numbers
instead of what? Instead of who? Because
instead of the mob.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, it's
because the mob knew how to fucking move money. They were like, hey, like they knew what they were there for, and that's what makes the American mob and the American mafia, as despicable as they could be sometimes, so much better than the cartels that still haven't figured that shit out. Like, they don't know how to run a proper business, and that's always been their problem, is that they can never
all
just...
their businesses are apple carts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of.
well, more like
taco
human
trucks,
carts,
whatever.
but
Taco trucks
cocaine inside human carts. But yeah,
all for that, or the Darien Gap's a horror show. Anyway. Oh, speaking of horror shows, we may actually get a bit of a resolution to a pretty horrible show. So what's happened? This is an update I've been longing to make for some while. The owner of Peanut the squirrel, and of course the raccoon as well, are suing the state of New York for $10 million over the killing of Peanut and Fred the raccoon.
Hashtag justice for Peanut.
Absolutely. That little squirrel deserved a better fate, and fuck the state. Hashtag justice for Peanut.
We are all extremely huge fans of. Okay, God damn it! I was gonna say we're all extremely huge fans of animals here, and then I remember bringing furries on the show, and I was like,
and acceptable ways that are not degenerate. Jesus fucking Christ!
Not human animals, quote unquote, self-identified animals. I'm talking actual animals. But yes,
right, yes.
The community that me and Kat share, we are both fans of animals that we don't try to fuck animals. We just love to pet them and give them sweet kisses and love on them
and
exactly
and such normal
and
fucking shit. Not
feed them
Jesus.
Tuna and like fucking kibbles.
Oh my fucking god!
Wish
not trying to.
It's just the dividend.
Feed them semen. God damn it!
It just keeps paying dividends in the worst ways.
I was almost trapped. I caught myself.
Probably good. Oh, speaking of trapped, we should probably talk about the other fun thing, because we did talk about how this last dumb bullshit will be obviously used to push through any of the kids' safety things, which of course, if there's a bill and it says safety, it means it will be taking that away from you. But anyway, Ursula von der Leyen's got a new one out of European. Of course, this one is the European Media Freedom Act, and obviously, as you might imagine, it permits the arrest of journalists if it falls under public interest.
It's very, very free. The very free, totally free.
The most
freedom
free
act.
freedom. The most free freedom is, of course, free.
Yeah.
For reasons.
The freest.
So under what provision? Like, do you know any more details on it? I haven't heard about this.
Not a whole lot. It actually does add in a little bit of what's the term I'm looking for? Like people can go after like businesses and reporting institutions if they fuck with them, but also it's got all these fucking poison pills in it too. So it's very European. I don't know how better to describe it.
That's pretty good.
I don't get how Europeans haven't.
It's like they're fucking great on food, but goddamn, they just fuck everything up with human freedoms.
Check DMs.
Well, I mean, especially like the freedom of speech. I've never really got that. Like how we came from that tradition, and like we were like, yes, freedom of speech, and we like one amendment in our Constitution, and for some reason that amendment was like an umbrella against so much just like censorship like trash that completely obliterated the rights of Europeans to talk about anything.
Well,
and we came from there.
Well, the biggest part of that, well, not the biggest, but one of the major factors with that is that one has a second one that makes it a little bit harder to get rid of. So as long as it's got that second one, they're kind of concerned about taking away the first one because, the second one could be enacted. and there's a lot of important people who find themselves with, the average and normal number of holes in a human body and want to keep it that way. And that's understandable. I would not want new and extra holes in my body.
I mean, we've all seen that episode of the superhero slop that came out, right? Like with the new holes and what happens to them.
See,
no, and I don't want to know, actually.
Come on.
I
don't need to hear
don't.
about how taking V makes you turn into a sadistic person.
Are you talking about The Boys? I haven't seen
Yeah.
that show.
Yeah, we're talking about. You should. It's genuinely, it's a good show.
Huh,
And my
I heard it.
about it.
I heard it was a good show, and then it became a not good show.
It's still.
But I mean,
right.
that's every show.
The best part is how much shitlibs want you to hate it, and it's funny because
they want you to hate. They want you to hate Homelander, and apparently Homelander is like the most understandable villain ever.
Well, he has things that you can hate about him. That's the thing. Is he's actually a well written villain.
See, that's the problem with a lot of modern villains. They're written from the point of view of these people that don't really have an understanding of human beings.
Well, it's also they're written with no complexity to them. They're written as flat characters, so you can immediately hate them. Take Joffrey from Game of Thrones, for example. He's immediately dislikable, and he has no complexity to him. He's just a little shit. Like, and while he played that role beautifully, the character lacked from that. Like he made the guy who did who played the role, fantastic job to him, because he made it so that everyone hated that character, like absolutely fucking hated him.
That's true, but that's a well-written villain from an author who knows how to make a well-written, like,
but it wasn't
just villain that you will hate. But what Kat was talking about is like that there's a current generation of writers that will write villains, quote unquote, and they'll give them all of like the worst characteristics of like, oh, I like white people, and I like I like punctuality, and I like
the best modern
beauty and aesthetics
came from James Cameron, the man with the scar on his face in Avatar. When you grow up, you learn that he was the good guy. Sorry,
I
James.
shared exactly that meme today. And you're 100% on.
And that's what it is. It's like that. It is exactly that. It's like, okay, yeah, there's a bunch of fucking savages. You're just a bunch of fucking
and they're
savages
all furries.
throwing away you're fucking your animals, and you're throwing away your fucking souls into a pit for nothing.
Look, you see, they're able to, I love the arguments. Here's the arguments against it is they're able to use the technology that was provided to them, and they're able to beat the humans with the technology that, again, was provided to them, because the humans, of course, held back and did not immediately slaughter them. So this is a great teachable moment. If we have an alien race visit us, the best outcome is they try to kill us right away, because the ones that come and show up and say we come in peace, they're the ones we should be afraid of. And Avatar is a great example, along with every other fucking colonizers discovering the New World allegory. Go back to Pocahontas if you want. The ones who show up and say we come in peace, and any variety of that, they're the ones who we should be deathly afraid of and immediately retaliate against, because we're basically already fucked the moment they show up and talk to us. Like this is just game theory conclusions. This is not something we can come back from. As soon as they show up, we're done.
Why is that?
Because that means they already know how to fucking kill us, and they're already starting to. As soon as we let our guard down, we're dead.
You're under the impression that everyone, or that everything is under this, like, kind of like, and this is like a.
That's the zero-sum game of the Dark Forest.
That is the most like toxic thing about like the modern mentality is this zero-sum kind of mentality. And a lot of, if an alien species is able to like travel interstellar distances and survive interstellar distance travel in relative good shape, they could probably get to many other planets that are very, very nice. The fact that they would come to our planet, see us, and be like, no, we must eradicate everything here for reasons, that's kind of a big stretch.
That's not what they would do that for. So the best case scenario is they see us as ants, not cattle, or an obstacle to taking the planet. Like, that's the best case scenario.
I don't know if I would.
This is the dark horse. It's the reason why. It's part of the reason. The one of the best explanations for why we don't see many communications from aliens.
Well, what you're saying, Craig, is you would pull the lever.
You're damn right. Fuck them aliens.
Right. So there you go.
I disavow gloom.
That's not being a doomer. That's not being down.
Gloom. If you're listening, I disavow everything that this man is saying. I love aliens. Anyway, but any civilization that's that advanced, I don't pretend to be able to think on the same level that they can, because they've obviously solved many more problems about the universe than we have. At that point, they're looking at things as chess, and we're still looking at things as checkers. So,
well, I'll give you this here. This is I think this is a good segue to a minor news item. The was it Harvard or Yale professor who said that the interstellar object that's passing through is a fucking alien spaceship.
Have there been a number of people that are saying that?
It's so not. It's so fucking not.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see when it gets closer, but.
Well, you see, it's just a comet. It's gonna have a tail. It's gonna swing around the sun. It's gonna fuck off.
Or it doesn't.
That's what's gonna happen.
Or we could get our.
Well, I will have another glass of whiskey if I'm wrong.
And hey, you know what? If that's the case, I will reach out to the aliens and see if we can get one on the show. That's what we do here.
Hey, yeah, exactly. Let's get one on here. I want to know like how long they've been here already, and why Lindsey Graham is one of them.
If it's an alien spaceship, it's a shitty one, because if it's carrying if it's carrying a tail, that means it collected material in the Oort cloud, which means it's traveling here under basically like what amounts to, from an interstellar perspective, like basically like a tricycle speed, like Kitty on little wheels. So yeah, that's not very scary.
Well, hey, it could be one of those generation ships or one of those things. They could be immortals or whatever, or who fucking knows. But
still, immortals that haven't developed warp drives, get the fuck out. We'll throw you in Mexico. You can hang out with them.
Well, or we end up with the alien nation thing, and we have a whole nother set of immigrants to deal with.
No. They all
me actually at all.
They all go south of the border.
All aliens to Mexico, right?
That's right. We deport them all. Stephen Miller's not going to let that shit stand. He won't.
Well, and to be fair, they could probably run the place better than the cartels. They can build spaceships, right? Hey, Mexico needs a space industry, right? Everybody wins.
That's true. I would love to see like Mexico thrive. I'm not anti. Well,
I mean, yeah,
no.
I want to.
I'm not anti-Mexican.
I want to see sombrero-shaped, space stations. It's a reasonable shape for a space station. It would look cool. You could have the cool red and green thing. Maybe put some flashy lights on there. Space tequila. It sells itself. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, I mean hey. They got some ceviche. They got some tostadas.
Yeah, space tacos.
You got a spring break right there.
Right? Yeah, it's like they could, set something up on the dark side of the moon. Sell tacos to the Chinese and shit.
Because the Chinese are already there on the dark side of the moon.
But,
Be so Mao. Love
Hey,
you a long time.
You get tired of the same food. So they're going to want something. And you know how it is with those Asians. They love the Latin culture.
What? I don't think they do.
Really? No. That's totally a fucking thing, actually.
I think that's only a thing because of like force. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about like Peruvian integration.
No, not
because
at all.
there were Chinese immigrants.
No, like Chinese and Japanese, they just kind of like Latin women and Latin foodstuffs. It's just a thing. I don't know why it's a thing. It's just kind of a thing.
No,
It is.
Okay, I'd like to see evidence of this because I think it's the other way around. Because we know how Mexicans like especially the cartels, what they do about Dragon Ball Z. Like
they are all about Dragon Ball Z.
The fact that like when he died, everyone like there was an immediate ceasefire. It was like no one's killing anyone tonight because he died. It was like that's a powerful thing for them, man. Like especially like scrolling Twitter, I was surprised with like how profoundly they take that shit.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
But I mean, I guess that's their childhood. Like we all had like a whole bunch of Saturday morning cartoons when we were kids. We had like He-Man, Masters of the Universe. We had fucking, Looney Tunes. We had
regional cartoons even. There's a whole bunch of Saturday morning cartoons that I never saw.
We had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and shit. Yeah, we had all that shit. Like, apparently, the only thing that Mexican kids had, for whatever reason, was Dragon Ball Z.
And it's like you could do worse. To be fair.
Well, I mean, I'm not judging it. It's just like that. Apparently, like that's what they all watched when they were kids. That was like on every Mexican TV channel. It was localized, and so they had like Mexican dubbing or subbing or whatever, and like they all like, and so all those kids grow up on it, and so they're all like just crazy into Dragon Ball Z. And so I can see that from the other way around, but I don't know if so much it's reciprocated on the Japanese and Chinese side. But I don't know. We'd have to ask someone like Cut, who actually is Asian, to actually give us really the lowdown on that. But
yeah, or we could. No, I'm not even going to get into that. No.
I had to call out our fellow. Yeah, I had to.
Yeah, that's fine. There's another one that I'm not even going to mention who has some experience with Asian ladies. And anyway, that's all that we're touching on with that because, no.
If you're talking about Cinemex, he has experience being Mexican.
Already.
No, I'm talking about the gloomy troublemaker. So anyway. But on relation to what we were talking about.
Where are we on?
Well, I was actually going to tie back into space here because there have been some updates with that.
Oh, space.
Yes. Trump signed an executive order just a couple days ago that's going to be easing some of the restrictive space rules. So that's
already.
On the 13th, as a matter of fact. So let me just see if it's got anything here. Ensuring that United States.
Now that my new buddy Zeno is back, I'm going to actually go pay the beer tax here really quick. I'll be right back.
Sure enough. So let's see. Order emphasized the need to enable a, quote, competitive launch marketplace and substantially increase, quote, commercial space launch cadence and novel space activities by 2030. Excellent.
Yeah.
That includes action to, quote, eliminate or expedite Department of Transportation environmental reviews. also excellent. That's one of the
Well.
things that has been holding up launches
Well.
consistently.
Well.
So that's very big deal.
How the turns have tabled.
So, quote here, ensuring that the United States operators can efficiently launch, conduct missions in space, and re-enter United States airspace is critical to economic growth, national security, and accomplishing federal space objectives. This also coming on the heels of last week's announcements.
Getting rid of some of the Bidenisms that fucked us a couple years ago, huh?
And also some of the stuff that's been lingering since forever. Fucking, since Johnson, honestly. But, there's been a little.
You're not wrong. You're right.
And it's been a snowball. It's been a little, and then a little, and then a little, and then a little, and then a little becomes a lot. And that's kind of where we were. So,
first a little was a little, but then a little was a little, so a little became more and more.
Yeah, or in a kind of relatable DC thing, since we are talking about things coming out of DC. First they came for, the Antifas and the homeless, and I wasn't an Antifa or a homeless.
Oh, no.
And then
Speaking of that...
and then they came for all the criminals, and I wasn't a criminal. And then they didn't come
then you
for
got
me
called a
because
racist.
I don't commit crimes or rape people in the parks or anything, and I was happy.
And then Massey finally got the slush fund published. Oh, wait, that hasn't happened yet.
I don't worry. We'll get that. I'm sure they'll come out right around the same time as the Epstein, information.
I'm sure it'll be right around election time. It'll be promised again. Hey, Massey?
I would be unsurprised. But anyway, on this, let me dial in this here. The Transportation Secretary has 120 days to implement the order, which includes reporting on any new assessments or
changes
made to the president's economic policy. And a case in point here, earlier this year, the FAA grounded SpaceX's Starship test flight for nearly 2 months.
Yes, they did.
Because of, it was something related to
bullshit
turtles, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
So there was the launch to get the people back from the space station was delayed due to EPA concerns over a fuel tank that was perfectly fine for doing stuff for the Air Force, but was apparently a major hazard for the local ecology, even though they were further apart from from each other than where they had been when closer to the spaceport, the launch pad.
Mm-hmm.
So they moved the tanks away from the launch pad further to make it safer, and they moved them farther apart just in case one goes off. And that apparently was bad according to the EPA. So shit like that going away would be great.
And that's
if it was good enough before, and suddenly you change your mind on that shit because of who's in office, fuck off.
Absolutely. And
that's not about the environment.
It's
not about the environment anymore, and it's so garbage.
Oh yeah, but as I say, there's 2 more notes to this as well. In addition, this goes to the state level. It also directs the Secretaries of Commerce, Defense, Transportation, and the NASA Administrator to examine whether state and local programs comply with the Coastal Zone Management Act when it comes to regulating spaceport infrastructure programs.
Good.
So they have to get that to the Department of Justice, as well as decide, make the advisements, whatever. They have 180 days on that. Also, the Secretary of Commerce must elevate the Office of Space Commerce to a secretary level position within 60 days. So everything is on the up, as well it should be. As well it should have been for a long time, to be completely fair.
Wait, what?
Space commerce.
Space commerce?
And space business and everything. It's just going to be easier.
Space commerce isn't going to be a thing until we are finally able to capture a metal-rich asteroid. As soon as we can get one of those things and start mining that from orbit, then yeah, space commerce is going to be a big thing. But until then,
it's less space commerce and more space economic collapse for certain industries. But I'm here for it. I want to see it happen. It'll be funny.
It's not collapse for whoever gets it. Whoever gets it
True.
is gonna be
This is very true.
is gonna be on top of the fucking world.
Yeah, I have a
But
feeling it's gonna be Elon.
Yeah, that's my hope too. And I just hope that he isn't spurgy enough to, just take all of his ill-begotten gains and go to like Belize or something and
Well, he's
pull
going
a Terry.
He's going to go to
He's
Mars.
going to Mars, dude.
Yeah.
Pull
obviously.
a John McAfee.
Well,
Hey, even if
That
he
one's
does
a
take
different
all his
case.
money and go to Mars, he's still building a city there. We need one. So, fuck it. Whatever. Fairsies. I'll take it. It may okay. Yeah, maybe it's going to be a little bit Rapture-esque. Whatever. Somebody's got to build the infrastructure. We can clean it out afterwards, after everybody's.
Rapture-esque is like best case scenario. That's a pretty high bar. I would move to Rapture. Obviously pre-splicers, but
Well, yeah. Well, I'm not really implying. I'm not implying pre here. Is all I'm saying.
Well, he's going to have his
some
robot
heavy
army with him.
infrastructure that we'll be able to make use of after everything, after the dust settles, shall we say?
He's got to discover a Martian sand slug that gives you
He's going to
electrokinetic powers.
Yeah.
He's going to have
big Martian daddies.
He's going to have illegitimate children with him, and
yeah, fair.
And he's going to build himself an Elon army there. He's probably going to have all his own family. He's reaching out to different women so he can get genetic diversity into the pool right now.
Well, to be fair, he's that tracks. I mean,
I'm sure he's played this out in a risk game before, and probably had some choice words with people who told him to stop doing that. It's like, look, it's Waterloo. It's not fucking Mars.
Oh, speaking of fucking Mars. Anyway.
Oh boy.
No, that's all. But on a on a note of tech progressivism and futurism, we can speak on something that's actually genuinely just some straight up good news. And Valor Atomics has been selected by the Department of Energy to achieve criticality on American soil by July 4th next year.
Hey. All right.
So we're moving forward with a current gen reactor. We haven't had one of those since the late 60s.
Where?
Let's see if it's got any information here. Today, America embarks on a second Manhattan project.
Is it in my backyard? And can I take it?
Command is staggering.
Yeah.
Atomics uniquely positioned. Executive Order 14301. Let's see if they've got a location. ValorAtomics.com. I'll throw a link to that as well.
They've got to be bragging about this by now.
I would love for a nuclear reactor to be built in my backyard.
My electric bill
property values would drop and my rent would drop, and it would be
San
fantastic.
Rafael Energy Research Center in Emery County.
God damn it!
Yeah, well, oh man, Utah that's gonna be really good for them. That's gonna be real fucking good for them.
Goddamn Mormons.
That says it looks like they do have investment opportunities. So, anyway, I'll throw a link to the Valor Atomics website with all this information, so you can actually read up on it yourself if you don't.
Do they say? Well, I didn't come here to read. God damn it, Cat. Do they say anything about the design?
They don't.
Probably just Gen 4.
Position for success. Let me just give it a quick once over here. High temperature reactor design, additional advantages, operating over 750C. Enables not only electrical generation, also direct process heat applications for industrial. Yeah, because, I mean, you can use that extra heat for all sorts of shit. Especially in Utah. Especially in the winter. And they want to get this shit done in under a year. That's impressive. All right, let's see here. Have they got anything on
that's a lofty goal, but I think it's achievable.
Well, they have a facility
they don't have to do any red tape
exist.
anymore.
They
if they're done with the red tape and they just need inspectors, then I think they're probably going to be okay, especially if the state's on board. which I'm guessing it is.
Yeah, it says they're in partnership with Governor Cox and the administration of the state of Utah.
Perfect.
So everything's in place to make this happen. Okay, here we go. It's a proof of concept reactor design which incorporates TRISO fuel in a high temperature configuration, optimized for safety and rapid manufacturing. So
right.
I can't.
TRISO fuel. I've never heard of that.
They say the deadline is ambitious but achievable. That's impressive. That's quite a statement. Godspeed, fellas. I'm hype. I'm very excited to see where that'll go because, man, we've been stagnating quite some time.
Tristructural isotopic fuel is a type of nuclear fuel known for its exceptional robustness and safety features. It's composed of tiny spherical particles, each containing a uranium fuel kernel encased in multiple layers of carbon and silicon carbide.
That sounds pretty sturdy.
Sounds good.
I like it.
Yeah, it looks like little BBs basically, and that's the fuel.
Huh. So that's so like a pellet bed is so I don't know how exactly they're going to do that if they're doing anything like an MBR, so a moving bed reactor, or if they're just doing with like a static bed reactor. It might be that they have cause I'm wondering what their fuel cycle is, and Steve might be the better person to comment on this.
Yeah,
but I know that with most nuclear reactors, at least with the previous generations,
it says
that the way that they do it is that they move the fuel rods from the inside to the outside during the rotations and their fuel cycles, and then older fuel on the outside just gets taken out of it, and they put new fuel on the inside when they do the cycle.
It says triso. It says triso particles cannot melt in a reactor and can withstand extreme temperatures that are well beyond the threshold of current nuclear fuels.
Yeah, so no meltdown. That's basically what it
means. Not only can it not melt down, but it can't melt, period. So, like, when they haul it out at the end of its life cycle, it's still in, like, whole form. It's not slugs.
Right.
So they can, like, whatever, do anything that they want to. That's really interesting.
Yeah. Also, reprocessing just becomes an issue if you make it indestructible fuel. You try and reprocess fuels no matter what.
And they are hiring.
Part of it is going to be.
That's crazy that they can make a fuel that that can reach criticality, but still has a shell that prevents it from melting. That's
the heat transfer thing more than anything else. So if you can, into the melting point, period.
Well, no, because each particle isn't gonna be able to generate like any heat, really.
Well, no,
you have to put a bunch of them together to generate criticality. But the thing is that
there's a critical density at which the heat generation is sufficient to cause melting, and if you can just avoid that density by adding extra shell material, for example, while maintaining sufficient density to maintain your criticality, then that's an inherently safe design to go
weird. Oh, the particles are incredibly small, about the size of a poppy seed. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes more sense. That's still fucking that's wild. Someone thought up of that on an acid trip. Like,
no, that's a math consequence. That's a typical math.
That's a crazy fucking way to get to a nuclear critical fuel. Wow.
So previous reactors were designed specifically around the task at hand of generating power, and the newer ones are designed around inherently safe design, which is, unfortunately, given the number of disasters that happened at Bhopal, more of a modern thing. Things like not factoring in a disgruntled employee who just hates everything.
Bhopal was nuclear, though.
Bhopal was an angry person opening up water into an isocyanate tank, which then caused it to blow out. Yeah. And so imagine you have the same kind of thing going on at a nuclear site. You have some guy who decides, fuck all these people. and rips the control rods out. Like that's the kind of scenario you can now make completely impossible.
There's an example of one of those kinds of meltdowns. It was an experimental reactor, but it was one of the first like portable reactors that the Army tried to do, and apparently one of the dudes ended up like yanking out a rod really quickly when he knew he shouldn't have. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's like the SL-42 reactor.
Yeah.
It's a or something like that. I forget what the name of it is, but it's like a really famous early reactor disaster. And yeah, he yanked out the rod. It went critical, and then yeah, both of the people in the control room died, but there was only two.
Yep.
So
like that again, that would be one where Steve would have better context to give on it. But yeah, I had heard of that one, and that was and there's too many of those from either human error or human intent that have caused harm like that in industry. And so that was a major push from like the mid '80s forward. Happened under the under the CSD, so the Chemical Safety Board, and like it's something that is pushed really hard these days in education, inherently safer design. And of course, the students go out into the real world and get pushed to not do that because it costs money, which is fantastic. You know,
speaking of safe designs in the modern world, that's a really good segue into something we've actually been talking about. That's going to be, obviously there was that app that a number of ladies were making use of.
Yes, there was consequences.
There were, and of course we've spoken pretty substantially on that, and there could be some legal consequences even on that, but nothing much has happened on that side. But on
we should begin immediately by. I was going to say we should begin immediately by talking about the other consequence that happened.
Well, there was
tea on her.
Yes. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what I was getting to.
Now, I have not found a magnet or a torrent for that yet. I did put a feeler out on X, and I put a feeler out a couple other places just to see, like, hey, is anybody pull the date on this? Like, where is this going? And I've gotten a couple DMs saying like, hey, if you get it, can you go ahead and ping me? So like, people are looking, and it might be that they caught it early enough to keep it from being sent out very far. But where there's a will, there's a way. So I'm wondering if someone's going to finally drop the hammer on that and let it go.
Could be. So the word there is basically the exact same thing happened with Tia on her, that government IDs and selfies have been leaked.
But that's the gist of it.
But the best part of it, because if that wasn't good enough, is the admin password was leaked. The admin password
it was
password 1.
Password 1 exclamation point. I believe it was. Or no, it was just password 1. You're right.
Yeah, just password 1.
Well, that is a default password. We're just testing this out password if I've ever seen one.
For a default brain.
Yes. You see, like the first thing I would do with that is remember where the app came from in the fucking first place, the idea for it. Oh, that app that exists. Wait a second, what happened to that app? Why are we doing this? Oh yeah, we found out what they're saying on that. How did we find that out? Oh, so it's just 5 seconds. It takes less than 5 seconds to just spit out a password from a generator, and you don't have to remember it. You just go back to the password manager, and there it is. Don't have to do anything. Like, I should not have to ever explain this to an IT admin, let alone a dev. And here we are, where IT admins and devs have simultaneously fucked a company. Just like the company they were trying to rival.
It's a funny world, a very, very funny world.
It's the Darth Sidious ironic meme, just fucking amazing.
Well, the problem is that even if you have the admin password, it's like, what else are you gonna get? Because You already
Well,
have
they
all of
didn't need it.
the
They didn't
docs
need it
of
for most of it.
everyone else. Yeah. It's like,
That's the thing.
okay.
It's like, it's okay. We don't need the password, but we got it anyway. Oh, what do we do? We got his
Yeah.
email. Just, what are we gonna do with that? I don't know. Let's see what kind of porn he looks at. I guess.
Oh God, not that guy. Have you seen that guy? The guy that was running that app.
I have not, but I can
Oh.
imagine.
Yeah.
If it's anything like the original T-App guy, then yeah, he needs a hard drive check.
Yeah, he does. He's
Oh, boy.
very
So
he's very Roblox coded.
there you go. There you go.
He has that Roblox physiognomy, does he?
There you go.
Yeah.
He's got the Roblox nose.
Oh, come on, that was low.
Low as a sewer. Low as a sewer. Anyway.
Cute.
Whatever happened to that anyway? Huh.
I don't know. That's actually we should follow up on that because I
There
am curious.
hasn't been a fucking word. I've tried. There's
Really?
that shit has gone underground. If you'll excuse the pun.
I will. That was fair.
And speaking of things that were underground, but are kind of not anymore, and since we're talking about apps, this just flows right in. We should talk about jobs.now.
Yes, we should.
Because, well,
yes, we should, because that affects a lot of industries.
People in America that they've got a lot of good to offer.
We should talk about the response to it too, because that is fascinating.
Well, sure, but
we should also speak about specifically what it is.
Absolutely, that's where we need to begin. So, jobs.now is it's a website that has been put together to find jobs in tech and kind of STEM in general that are hard to find, shall we say. Why are they hard to find? We'll get to that. But it gets...
So these are what we call ghost jobs, just to get started on that part. But as a teaser, they're called ghost jobs.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Yes, they are. And these are good jobs. The pay might not be amazing for the job, but it's perfectly reasonable. And you could say there are Americans that would take that pay. But see, these jobs are what is called perm jobs. And
there we go. That's the nuance I wanted to make sure we hit. That it's not for one type of people, but it's definitely for another.
Oh,
and they're very much related.
Well, jobs.now is for one kind of person, and the listings, each and every one, whole and entire, is for a whole nother kind of person, a person of a particular caste,
so
might say.
The two types of people I'm talking about here are those who are H-1B applicants versus H-1B holders. So the jobs these ghost jobs are listed so that the H-1B holders can be given green card status under their perm application by filling the role a ghost job indicates on the form. And so if any American applies and is qualified for that job, and the qualification cannot be is a foreign person here on H-1B, then the application process is totally fucked. They have to basically start from scratch if they want to keep the guy here, or they need to offer to the fucking American, which, by the way, if they don't, there is legal recourse for that.
There is.
And they open themselves up to some insane liability. Which I'm very happy to see there's somebody showing this shit to the world. Even if it's in a pants-down manner.
And on that note, there are some folks that are very, very upset that jobs.now exists.
And you can see them in every comment section.
You can. And they are saying...
Fuck them.
Yeah, they really think you shouldn't go on to jobs.now and redeem. They
you guys are guests. You're guests here. They're fucking guests here. There's no right. There's no right to this shit. You guys are guests. Fuck off. Like, if you cannot be here on H-1B anymore, if somehow you've, timed yourself out, or, it's not working out between you and the company and you want to just stay on a favor, go fuck yourself. Go home. Try again. I'm so tired of that as an excuse. It is inexcusable. Again, they're guests here. Now, some people should stay here. Some people should genuinely stay here. They're good workers. They pay their taxes. They are a net benefit to our economy. And it just happens that most of them are not code monkeys. And
Mhm.
so you'll find that there's a lot of code monkeys who are very angry about this. There's a lot of people who are going to be here on a perm anyway because they're genuinely that good of a worker, and they are actually legitimately filling a role that cannot be filled by Americans
Oh, you
at the
mean
time.
what the H-1B system was actually made for?
Right, which basically has been recreated in the O1 visa, which is hilarious and fucking irritating.
Yeah, it is
Like
that.
it was never meant to be what it is. It was meant to be effectively what the O1 visa is. You know, if you're exceptional, it's what we brought a lot of people. Now, admittedly, you could question their morals, but we brought a lot of people over after World War II on O1s.
But that we did. Now, to be fair, they were
We have NASA
exceptionally
because of
talented.
that. They were very talented. Now they may even have, and there are certain of them that were very vocal about it. In fact, and only lived over there because they were so good at what they did. There are people that were very vocally against what the Nazi Party was doing, and then there were people who were very much the opposite. And we brought them over anyway because they were able to build us good rockets, and we were able to win the space race largely because of that. And that's just history. We can't change it now, and it is what it is. If you want to talk about now, as someone I was having fun with on the shitters earlier today and last night, I think. No, it's just this morning. Trudeau brought in a literal World War II
Yeah, we mentioned that
uniformed at the
actually.
time
Funny
Nazi.
enough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And so if you want to talk about today, that's the guy to be angry at. Our NASA program is very much not full of Nazis today, but it was definitely thanks to a good amount of them that we were able to make it happen as fast as we did. We could have done it without them,
so
but
let's give a big thanks
we were
to
better
those
with them.
guys. Thanks, Nazis. We wouldn't be where we are without
some
you.
of them. Some of them.
Werner von Braun,
Again, some of them.
Saint Rocket.
I mean, some of them were defectors earlier on too. Like that's the thing is we brought over people who defected and basically said, "Yeah, fuck the Nazis," and that was part of how we were able to figure out what technology they had, V2s, how to circumvent them, how to neutralize them with basically site bombardment, and how deep they were keeping them. Which there's that great installation that was used to launch shit over at London. That's buried like 40 levels into the ground. It's an insane installation. Like you got to give them credit for engineering, and that's very much a thing that was not dependent upon Nazis at the time to achieve. That was just good German engineering.
Well, they have been kind of notorious for that throughout, well, pretty much their history.
Less
up
recently,
until Austria
but
and all.
definitely, less so recently
Or
because
Prussia,
of
whatever.
people in charge.
And just as a quick side note, if it's okay for Zelensky and all of them to be like, well, no, we got to have that property back. Well, then give Germany back fucking the rest of East Germany. Poland. Cough.
Now, how about give Poland back the rest of East Ukraine?
Also that. There's all kinds of important things to be
How
discussed.
about give
I know that one's not
Kiev
popular.
and Rus back Moscow? Yeah, let's just keep going back. Let's just take it all the way back.
Yeah, let's give Gaza back to Israel. Wait a second. That was gonna piss some people off.
Let's just give it back to Britain.
Let's give Israel back
Let's
to
just avoid
Egypt.
that, huh?
Oh, man.
Okay, that was the first clever one you came up with. Unfortunately, you need to talk about the Canaanites. Unfortunately for them, they all got slaughtered by the Israelites. So it sucks to be them.
There's a fancy word for that belief. It's called irredentism. And yeah, that's kind of what everyone accuses Putin of being, because that's kind of what Putin is, as an irredentist. But yeah, it's like losing things that you've lost a long time ago and being like, hey, that was ours, and now we should have it back.
It's toddler. It's a toddler mentality. It's also what Zelensky's doing right now with Crimea. To be fair.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
I would certainly say
because I would.
Childish.
I will never be the guy. Like I can call Putin a lot of names. I will never call him unintelligent. That guy is.
Well, I never said
pretty
it is
fucking
something
sharp.
I never said it was something that doesn't require intelligence. I said it was toddler behavior. That's the first time where toddlers have to start negotiating socially, is when they start realizing that something is theirs versus something is someone else's. And navigating how that relates to time versus simple ownership is a big thing. That's a
Just as
very
quick
important
side
part
note,
of human communication in
Zoran
society.
Mamdani has not been able to move past
No,
that
he has
stage.
not.
Just as a side
No,
note,
he has not.
at all. And
So,
Hmm?
no, I'm sorry. I just want to bookend the end of that last thing.
Okay.
With the fact that Trump decided to meet Putin in Alaska. I'm from Alaska. I'm an Alaskan.
Uh-huh.
Don't live
That
there
explains a lot.
now, but I was raised there. I was born there, and like the fact that he's like showing off like Alaska to Putin is just like ha ha ha. And again,
me too.
there's this again you're showing that to an irredentist, someone who's like anything that was taken from us at any time in the past, even if we sold it, we should have it back. It kind of like, I don't know. It raises my hackles a little bit. I'm not saying it raises my hackles a lot, but it's just like, especially when that Sergei Lavrov asshole came there wearing the CCCP fucking shirt, and I was like, okay, well,
Well,
I
they're gonna be
know
that way no matter what you do.
I know a lot of Alaskans. I know they all have guns, and so it's like
Behind every goddamn blade of grass. Got that right.
Now, something funny
Yeah.
about this situation actually that's come up is y'all motherfuckers owe Sarah Palin an apology. Everybody was making fucking jokes after jokes after
Oh, that
jokes.
was so funny that was misconstrued.
It's like, well, you can't see that. Motherfucker, it's 25 miles away. On a clear day, you can see right the fuck to Russia.
Also, it wasn't her who said that.
Also that.
Yeah, you can no, she said that. I heard the interview where she said that.
Uh-huh.
And
Well,
you
like,
can
she's not the one who like.
And the
like,
only
popularized it. Like that was SNL.
and there's only one place in Alaska where you can do that, and that's on the end of the Seward Peninsula. Past no, that's not even there. It's on the little Diomede Island, looking at the big Diomede Island over in Russia. Anyway,
Yeah, well,
but
there's a lot of hyperbole flying around there, so you know.
But funny story, I knew Sarah Palin growing up. She was the mayor of Wasilla, which was the town right next to where I grew up, which was Palmer. And I actually spent like 3 years in Wasilla, but for the most part, like I grew up between Wasilla and Palmer, spent 3 years in Wasilla, and then spent a year in Saldana, and then was kind of like banished in the Shadowlands before I moved down to the States. But she was the mayor there, and she was actually kind of acquaintances, not friends, but like acquaintances with my mom, because my mom worked on the oil fields, and her husband did too. Whatever, her ex-husband apparently, because they got divorced. But like, yeah. So like, she actually came over to our house once. I ended up like talking to her in a coffee house once, and we like were talking about oil and gas policy in Teelands, right in the middle of Wasilla. So yeah, no, I know her. And the funny thing is that she never acted like she did like before. in public when she was running for office. That whole, oh no, oh you betcha, oh no, we're gonna kick out all the commies, don't you know? Like that's like a Minnesotan accent. I was like, what the
No
fuck?
shit.
And I was like,
it's not like the politicians ever lied before, right?
Well, I was just like, where the fuck did that come from?
No.
Because she was like apparently born in Idaho, but then moved to like Alaska when she was like
to do with
3.
Minnesota. It's like that's still not going to give you a Canadian accent, let alone a pseudo Canadian accent.
No, not at all. Like, and I have no idea where the fuck that comes from. And so, I
guarantee you that was a PR team move. We need to make you more personable somehow. Here, lie.
It's so weird because because she didn't have that. I swear to God, when I talked to her when I was like 14, she didn't have that accent at all. She just talked like a normal person, and she was actually kind of knowledgeable about a lot of stuff.
Well, we also just saw how that panned out for another candidate. Kamala Harris. Let's throw an accent in, see how that works. Oh, whoops.
Well, I mean, it did work really well for Hillary. Oh, yeah.
That scene from
tired, and that's the most important thing to remember.
That scene from The Incredibles where like no capes, no accents, just no accents, just leave it alone.
Internet times. People are gonna clip that shit, and you're gonna look really fucking dumb.
It didn't work when it was TV and she was running for state senator, right? So it's ridiculous. Just no capes, no accents.
Yeah, probably a good move.
Yeah. Apparently, have you seen that about Jasmine Crockett?
Dude,
she might apparently not be able to keep her seat depending on how this Texas redistricting goes, is what I'm hearing. And she will be salty.
Yeah, hopefully. She should lose her seat because she's...
Oh, salty bitches.
Yeah,
well, she's also too fat for her seat now.
She's shit. But, like,
going around.
There are apparently, like, early videos of her talking like a normal person. Yes, and now she's like, oh, sweet honey child. Oh, no. That white man, he gonna take our job. Oh, child. And like she's like doing the whole like.
You want to know something? I'll bet you down low she's seeing a bunch of
super mammy.
I bet you. I would put money on it right now that she's fucking at least 2 white dudes. I would put money on it.
I mean, there's precedent for that in Congress. It's not unreasonable.
And
it's stereotyping, which is a bad thing, but at the same time, there's several examples in Congress right now.
They're stereotypes for a reason.
Yeah, I wouldn't accept that bet. I'm
not going to say it's like my first assumption, but it certainly is among the top 10.
All I'm going to say is AOC's boyfriend is.
I don't really pontificate on that.
He is real wife material.
I forget which year of FBI statistics were published that like when they were talking about rape data. But it was
God, that was funny. I felt bad, but at the same time, I'm like, I shouldn't feel bad because these were rape victims. None of them should have been raped in the first place.
Exactly. Really but it's like
really sick. But at the same time, oh my God, does that like that is such a backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
Oh, it felt terrible, but like at the same time, I was like, wow, that is stark.
Black women raped by white men equals 0.
Yeah.
In the entire country. And it was like...
It's something. It's like, wow.
The alternative to that, the alternative explanation is that they just weren't reporting it, which I can believe. And there's also the fact that the statistics aren't complete, sure.
Fair, yeah.
But that's a stark difference. And it speaks to certain characters of individuals. And I'm like, okay, that is, as data points go, that's an interesting data point, I guess. There's a lot of conclusions we shouldn't draw from it, but I know people are going to anyway. And more power to them.
Well, there's another situation too that I'm surprised that people aren't really bringing a lot of attention to, and it's this guy. He's got kind of a big show. He's made a name for himself. Matter of fact, he recently got to speak with Sam Hyde, and he's got a big
okay.
he's got a big show on Rumble, and I
Is he a
don't.
gay guy?
Some say, who could say?
Oh,
Who could
okay.
say? He's
Well, I think the tranny porn would probably be a good giveaway.
It could be. Some say his loafers are not the heaviest. I would probably agree that they're probably not the heaviest of loafers. But anyway, there's this website that he pretty extensively makes use of, shills and everything. He's on Rumble, as everybody knows, makes use of their back end and everything. And as everyone knows, he is no fan of Peter Thiel. But
This is true.
here's the rub, if you'll excuse the pun.
Uh-huh.
So
Don't
Peter Thiel is,
don't do that.
Peter Thiel is one of the majority stakeholders in Rumble. So it's just an interesting
I
thing.
smell trouble.
Well, it's just an interesting little fact. Just peculiar. Who can say?
Curious, you might say.
Yeah, bi-curious even. Who could say? But
God, he's such a fucking fairy.
I mean, the guy makes some great points, but then he's
Well, that's the thing is like
but then that's kind of the
the
point,
best.
right?
One of my favorite ones to go after with vegans, crying about Donald Trump is Hitler was a vegan, and then they go, but that's not the same. It's like, yeah, I know, but
Well, yeah, I mean, if we're going to be completely honest, the Germans were just migrating in the 30s, and all of these hateful people were stopping them from migrating, and it didn't have to be violent. It could have been perfectly peaceful. But all these people and their racism against Germans. So, in
look,
other news,
we knew them to be the cheapskates they are. They weren't paying their debts. They were no better than gypsies, which I guess they did kill a lot of those. So I'm not kind of conflicted on that one.
yeah, well, not everybody's all bad. Anyway,
That's so terrible.
No,
We're all going to hell in a
no.
handbasket.
I get that Fuentes is a bitch, and I'm not a grower, but come on, the guy is about 20 seconds from breaking into the mainstream, being like Pat Sajak or fucking Jerry Springer. He's almost there.
Well, there's a reason for that. Some think.
I don't see it happening right now.
On January, and Nick also was not arrested, and they both made a lot of very similar statements that day. So people rightfully ask a lot of questions, and a lot of those questions remain unanswered.
It's funny. He complains about getting canceled for just asking questions about Jews, and then the moment people just ask questions about January 6th, again with a J, Nicholas J. Fuentes, it's very interesting how defensive he gets and upset and wants to cancel the people who ask about it.
So from
to be yet another Christian hypocrite.
I agree that he should
there's
petition for all those court documents to be unlocked, because I would like to hear
There's a lot of questions that really need addressing.
I would like to hear all the because he's not. I mean, I can kind of see a scenario where they wouldn't want to
Bats
make a martyr out of him.
Bats is saying he's debanked. I don't think that's going to be an issue for him much longer, per se. And to the extent that that's a thing.
We did speak on that. And we haven't really seen any movement on that presidential order, by the way.
But at the same time, the people say he's debanked. It's like, well, it's not. It's the same with he got kicked off an airplane. it wasn't because he's so based. It was because he made active hostile threats to an airline stewardess, which is a great way to get on the list of never being allowed to be in the presence again. So, shithead got himself kicked off a plane for a specific reason.
Yeah,
and then lied about that.
And
he was also allowed to fly for a good amount of time where he said he wasn't. So take with that and do it with what you will.
Yeah, and in a similar vein, I'd like to bring something up that this is actually about a week ago, but it's out of Project Veritas. And an interesting whistleblower here. We've got some reports that there are text messages between Bill Barr and Fannie Willis. And they're not about, you're going to fucking jail. They're about helping to build a RICO case against one Donald Trump. And that's a fucking big deal right there.
That's treason.
I heard that.
Here's the thing: is if it was an actual RICO case with actual evidence, it wouldn't be treason. Mm-hmm. But the fact that he was doing it specifically to undermine his boss, who was the fucking president of the United States, that was treason.
In pretty plain terms.
It's not people. Okay. I gotta fucking get on everyone's case here right now.
But we've got.
It's not. That's not treason. Treason is a very specific charge.
Right.
You're talking. What you're talking about is sedition. Treason is where you're like helping an enemy. Is where you're helping an enemy of the United States fuck over the United States.
I would say that Fannie Willis is an enemy of the United States
as treason, but you are correct. It is absolutely sedition. But there is
and I will argue it in bad faith too.
It's seditious behavior. But it's not treasonous behavior.
It could be. That would be for the court to decide.
If you could tie them to a foreign power, and treason's really hard to prove. You have to actually
sedition can lead to treason. Keep that in mind.
Oh yeah, it can. But the thing is that there's a lot of judicial precedent that if you actually want to get actually nailed with treason, you actually have to be in a declared war with the country that we were assisting.
Hey, now we have a war on fat. We have a war on obesity in this country. Come on, we have a war on obesity.
Mm-hmm. Well, you could make the argument.
Fannie Willis would have already been treasonous just by existing. That doesn't.
I win.
Yeah, she would have already been hung at Leavenworth.
Well, I see. Given the way that things are today, saying that a woman is hung has a different meaning. Be careful of that one.
Valid.
Not with me.
But something we should also mention, just tying into what we'd mentioned previously, we've actually got congressional members that are starting to talk about the Roblox situation. So there's going to be some movement on that.
And it damn well better happen soon, because the situation's not good.
No, a little ugly, you could say. And speaking of ugly situations, there's a real fun one here. Herr Starmer, the Oberfuhrer of England, has he's ordered 4chan to be fucked with. I don't know the specifics of it.
And this is going to go over very well for him.
Oh, it will
presumably
smash
out of the onset.
It'll
go so great.
Yeah, nothing bad can happen from fucking with 4chan. Nothing bad.
Now I have something to contextualize this with, actually. I don't have the story on me. It was a video I think I reposted earlier on the shitters. A woman who is a nurse in Canada, and so again, British territory. Still, a woman in Canada bought an ad for a billboard, ad, and it just said "I heart J.K. Rowling." She got suspended from her license to practice. Got suspended.
Wow.
And she picked up a 93,000 plus fine from the nursing board.
Wow, that's even bigger than a
And
fine for going into the forest if you're Canadian right now.
yeah, so she got fucking hammered with that, and of course the ad was taken down. The company was in trouble for it.
Sure.
So that's the state of Canada right now. And unfortunately, you look over to London Stan and the greater state of UKville, and it's not much better. It's basically the same kind of shit, same mentality, same pervasive problems in government, and same immigration problems. Who could have told? So yeah, this fact that Starmer is going to take on 4chan, I'm hoping that's going to be one of those landmark moments like electing Trump where shit just swings back the other way, and the UK has had enough because they've petitioned for a new election, and they got told to get stuff.
It was like, hey, can we have our
And
rights? And like, what the fuck you?
yeah,
What?
please.
No, shut up.
So which I say to them, run that petition over and over again so that they have to keep addressing it, and they have to keep showing you exactly how much they give a flying fuck about who voted for them, and then vote accordingly the next time around. And if they don't figure it out once they're in Parliament that time, do an American Revolution. Just fucking get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean,
because they wouldn't be getting. And it's like I don't say that lightly because war is hell, and it legitimately is not something I want to see.
Well, I would say the rape of some 14,000 British girls is not exactly heaven. So
exactly, like that's the kind of shit that they're up against as far as what kind of allegations are leading to this kind of anger and unrest in the country. That is your problem. That is what you have to overcome in order to stay in Parliament. That should be a requisite campaign promise at this point, is solving exactly that. And so far it isn't. And that's a big problem over there. And the thing I keep saying to friends over in the UK is take your fucking country back before we have to. Because, that's kind of the alternative you have at this point if you just let it go to shit. You're an ally of ours, and if that happens, a hostile country is going to invade.
Yeah,
or there's going to be a takeover from the EU.
Crazy people having access to our equipment.
And no, it's not even just that. We have signed treaties. We are obligated to go in there and defend them. Like that will be us taking their country back. I don't mean that as in like, yeah, we're going to take Greenland and Mexico and this, that, and the other. It's like, no, if you guys fuck around in the UK, we have to come over and help you. And like, while that's a good thing to have your allies back, it shouldn't be like the recommendation for your allies to keep fucking up as if nothing's going to happen.
We won't do that. That's not ever going to happen. But
at least
the American Revolution was never going to happen.
Having stern words for Keir Starmer and calling him a bitch to his face, so that helps.
Well, it seems to be somewhat working because he's at least like turned around on some of his policies because he knows his neck's on the line. But it's not doing enough.
Unfortunately, not literally, but at least figuratively. But
if they don't come after him with tar and pitchforks, like,
well,
chicken's done. Take your fucking country back.
Make tar and feathering great again. Maybe we can start in Britain. That would be a good place.
The problem with Britain is that they basically all vote like basically everyone in Martha's Vineyard or just Massachusetts in general votes. It's the same way. Like they're that kind of voter. They're just like they are completely libtarded to the point where they can't think anymore. The more interesting example, and I think the real bellwether, isn't Britain, it's Ireland. Yeah. Because Ireland has gotten basically an equal amount of immigrants than Britain has with a lower population. And like they're getting to the point where they're used to the troubles. They're used to like fucking committing crimes to
when
make
the
their
IRA
points
has
over
that they're done with this. It's going to get really interesting.
And for context, the Troubles is not like, hey, we're having a bad day. The Troubles is the Irish rebellion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A bad day.
Yeah.
Is,
It's a very British
sizable
understatement.
car bombing at a,
Oh, that's so
And-
inconvenient. They're just having troubles.
yeah, that's
And
that's it.
and I think at this point, like they are willing to set aside like Catholic and Protestant differences
Well, that's the
at
thing.
this
They've
point,
done
like
that for
it-
some
like
while now. For
when
like the
they're
past
saying
year.
like fucking Muslims, like having to do like instituting Sharia law in a lot of like big Irish cities where they're like both of them are just
Yeah.
like no this shit is not happening. And so
This is where I gotta
that's
say,
gonna
listen to the
be
Jews. I gotta say, listen to the Jews because we kind of told you. We told you so. Don't let them in. Okay, what's the worst that could happen?
Well, it depends on which one.
Yeah.
There were a bunch that were also.
No, I will
saying
say
you
this.
have
I'll
to-
say this in addition. The gate of Toledo was opened by a fucking retarded Jew.
No, and it wouldn't be the first time either.
Yeah, and
Unfortunately.
yeah. That's definitely not the first time. It happened in America too with Claudia Scheinbaum and Alejandro Mayorkas. Both
Mayorkas
colluding.
should be Mayorkas. Yeah, see, talking about treason, that guy needs to go.
Well, that was
Well,
good.
Kamala Harris was retarded and at the top, and she should take her fair share of the blame. The guy writing the fucking orders on pen, that's the guy who needs to go to prison.
Oh, and
We need-
speaking of
that
retarded
that is
Jews,
national
we should
catharsis.
probably address another one here, and that's the ADL. And they've got a new term that made it into the
Sure.
extremism and hate glossary. You're going to love this one. America First.
Which term is that?
America First. Oh my goodness, how did that happen?
Say-
Was it the America
Say
First
it louder. Say it louder, Cat.
I know.
Say it louder.
America First. What is it? AF? Is that the new HH?
Oh,
Well,
you are a racist, you
Oh, boy.
fucking Nazi. I disavow.
I am.
How dare you?
I see you
What
in
is
the
this,
chat. That Jew is retarded, Jew Craig. Quote me. That Jew's fucking retarded. I'm talking about Scheinbaum and Mayorkas.
Cat Waffen in here. Let's go. So, yeah, the ADL is a bunch of idiots, and they make every Jew in the world look like terrible. Just fucking terrible.
They're like, the funny thing is, like, every time there is a slight positive step forward with maybe they've learned a lesson, nope. Immediately they do this shit.
And of course, this also.
I mean, this is the same shit they pulled before in 2015. So it's not really like it's a big new thing, but it is funny that they've declared that they've added it just now.
Basically, Jonathan Greenblatt is like the anti-Apu. You know, Apu makes you. I was like, oh, Indians are okay. Jonathan Greenblatt is like, oh wow, I didn't realize I hated Jews.
Kind of.
Thanks, John. Good work, buddy.
Well, I think of it.
Yeah.
This is why I take people as individuals, because if I didn't, then I'd hate just about fucking everybody.
Him and
Those assholes
Rabbi
are not-
Shmuley.
Yes. Also, Shmuley.
Shmuley's nuts.
And,
Yeah.
Oh, and he has quite the storefront. Quite the listing of products on offer. Speaking of products on offer, we've got one that's going to be going out of publication very soon, or production, I should say.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't say they flew too close to the sun. They flew beyond the sun. That's okay. Yeah, I got it. I got to do a pun. Beyond Meat.
But we
is,
live in free
following
space,
Chapter 11 because
Poor space.
I'd rather it had happened to Impossible, and it probably will eventually, unless Gates just keeps throwing fucking money at it.
Well, they beyond fucked up. They beyond estimated their the desire.
They
for
went
their
beyond
product.
the size of their britches. They truly did.
That South Park episode was so fucking funny. Wait a second, you're telling me it's overprocessed crap that's terrible for me? I love that stuff.
So yeah, one of the sad part is it's not the most terrible thing. It's not like lab grown meat. It's not the fucking.
Well, I'll say
weird
this in
Frankenfood
defense
that
of
Impossible
processed
is.
stuff. In defense of processed stuff, chicken nuggets, which are delicious as hell, are made by taking every last bit of meat off the carcass, including crushing it through veins to allow all of the little bits of gristle to come off the bone
Delicious
shards.
chicken paste. Yum, yummy.
It's fucking amazing. And my favorite part of the fact that the way they're manufactured that way is when Jamie Oliver decided he's going to show children how they're made, and all of them loved his chicken nuggets. He cried about it on screen. I'm so glad that that's what happened, because fuck that guy. I
Yeah,
want my chicken nuggets,
that
man.
was
Screw you.
that was the. I remember seeing that
That's
in
so funny.
in a
Is this the delicious
PewDiePie
thing?
in a PewDiePie. No, it was in a PewDiePie video where I was like, let me watch videos where souls die, where you can see the light dying behind
That
someone's
counts.
eyes, and
That counted so hard.
there were so many he looked at a bunch of videos. Is like, no, this is what I want to see. No, this isn't someone dying inside. I don't want to see that. And then you saw that video. He was like, yes, yes, this is what I want to see. When you saw when Jimmy Oliver saw all these kids oh, yum yum, chicken nuggets,
Delicious.
and you could just see him just deactivate. Yeah, exactly. He was like, no. What is this? What is this it was.
Yeah, I actually saw one of those reactions in person. It was funny. We moved buildings when I was still getting I was still getting my grad degree. We moved buildings. My PI never. So every time they had a planning meeting, he'd say what we want, what we need, and they would say, "Okay, good. Email the new building manager to make sure that he's aware, so that may make sure it happens." Never sent a fucking email. So we show up in our lab space, and we're missing a ton of capacity for ventilation, and a ton of capacity for the electrical requirements. And we informed him of all this, and his shoulders just slumped, and it's like, oh, that's what it looks like. That sucks. We had to rebalance a whole fucking floor to give us a whole floor's worth of ventilation, and then add more ducting.
Oh, that had to be a lot of fun.
And then we got a new breaker box, basically a whole floor's worth of power.
Oh, wait! Damn it! No, that's old. Son of a bitch! Thought I had some good news. Kind of. Yeah. No. Nothing. No news. I was hoping there might be something on Brian Krasenstein. I saw that some more people are noticing.
Still there?
More people are saying things about it. Are you fucking kidding me? So somebody already got a report back saying, hello, after reviewing the available information, we determined that there were no violation of the X rules in the content.
Oh my fucking god.
That better not. Oh.
So I call them the Krasen cramps because of COVID, by the way, and also Eugene Goo. So I would say unfortunately the Krasen cramps are back with an uncomfortable amount of goo. Spelling his last name appropriately.
True. But there's two follow-ups, by the way.
Yeah.
The first one being a correction, saying that we should use so as to avoid getting clipped here. He says that poison should be used instead to, quote, make it less obvious. And then follow up to that saying, weird. Lots of Russian bots are reporting me to the FBI and Kash Patel for saying some things about
Russian
Putin's
bots.
life.
Sure.
It's almost as if there is no free speech in Russia. That's a very funny thing to say, Brian. What a funny guy. What a funny man. I'm wondering
Tons of chuckles,
if he's
that guy.
working on his stand-up routine, perhaps.
I think that he should take up stand-up. I think that would be very funny for everyone to watch that happen. Not because he'd have good jokes, but because he would fail so miserably and it would be hilarious.
Well, true. He might be.
I think that the world could use that kind of feeling.
With a salad at the very least, and that would be nice. Everybody likes a free salad, right?
I would like a free salad.
Right, exactly. See, people love salads. Salads are good for you.
Is this like the breadsticks at Olive Garden? Like, are we gonna have that at a comedy show?
Well, I mean, you got to get people in the door, and let's be real. If it's Brian Krasenstein, you're gonna need to give him a lot of good reasons.
Yeah, but if there's one thing Jews are good at, it is comedy. So they might have like brand recognition on that alone, not actually like who they are, but just the fact that Seinfeld's funny.
Yeah, maybe you can go up and do a soup Nazi routine or something.
That would ruin a lot of people's days. That would be unfortunate.
Exactly. So, just a real quick wrap up on things is as it stood as of yesterday, Zelensky was going to be coming out to the States. Better wear a fucking suit, motherfucker, on Monday. And already by the end of the coming week, apparently there is, as of now, scheduled meetings between Zelensky, our representatives, and Putin. So we're seeing a quick move.
That's moving forward.
That's exactly what we would want to see. Thank goodness.
That is good news, which is where we should be in the show right now, because it is 1 a.m.
Indeed it is, and I've got one more. And we've talked a little bit about it, but...
No, I'll be right back. I got beer tax more. I got it.
All right.
Hey, all right.
No worries. So we'll go back into the... that executive order, the Fair Banking Executive Order, which, of course, helps us out in a number of ways, in a number of the fields that we report on the regular. For one, it's going to undo all this debanking bullshit. Yep, for good or for ill, everybody deserves a fucking shot.
I say that true terrorists, sure, debank them, fine. Especially the foreign ones, specifically the domestic ones, should have a hell of a lot more of a bar to rise over, because due process and Americans.
Absolutely.
But go down that road, I guess. I think that the whole censorship, and especially using financial instruments that way, Fuentes would be nowhere near as popular as he is among the crowd he's popular among, were it not for the fact that people tried to silence him and make it so that he was more interesting than he is. The guy is as interesting as cardboard that's not even wet. It's like,
you want to talk about interesting as cardboard that's not even wet? Let's talk about Jordan fucking Peterson. But anyway, that man burned everyone.
Oh my God.
Every single fucking good person
that
raised him up.
Because
Stephen
that poor guy has such problems. Like, I wish him well that he solves some of them instead of continuing to wear them.
There's a reason that the system puts him at the top, because he's got so fucking many.
Yeah, there's that.
But anyway, we're talking we're ending on a high note.
We're talking positive.
Absolutely. So with the Fair Banking Executive Order, that's not only going to be protecting potentially video game makers, publishers, all that. It's also going to be helping out firearms businesses, which have been pretty fucking maligned for about the past 8-ish years. I mean, longer, really. But they've been going hard in the paint for quite a while now. They really hated that the assault weapons ban sunsetted, and then everything started getting better, and then more and more states started getting constitutional carry, and then
yes, sir.
And then every state that gets constitutional carry, the crime rate drops, except for maybe in the bright blue cities that sit within the middle of these, red seas. For some reason, maybe in those cases. And might I ask, how many big city machine gun cases have we reported on ever in the history of this fucking show? No, actual machine guns. Actual machine gun charges from
Vegas.
the feds. No, that's okay. All right, yes.
Come on.
Oh, fair. That's
that
fair.
Was funny.
Fair. I'm talking about people being prosecuted for owning them, not for... Okay. For using the... All right, fine. Valid point. Moving on.
You're gonna get there. Yeah, all right.
A bulletproof glass is really hard to break with a hammer, by the way. Anyway. Impossible, some would say. But that's neither here nor there. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So, and never gets released ever. Did you know that Mohammed bin Salman was anyway? Any fucking way.
I got a good one. I got a good one to break the stride to bring us back to center here. I asked good old X for an explanation to a phenomena that frustrates me to no end, and it's entirely because of a personal issue. And I won't even say like an issue. It's just an annoyance of mine. Why the hell do Australians pronounce the word no with an R? So, someone sent me a fantastic video teaching how to teach an Australian to say no, and he said it's a hard R, so it's racism, obviously.
Well, there you go.
I mean, I thought that was a good one.
That'll get your point across immediately. If you're talking to an Australian, anyway. Probably plenty adequate to get them to hush up on such a thing. But yeah, so what this is going to do, well, hopefully we'll get some actual acts on this, some laws to follow up on this. You know, something maybe to expand the PLCAA, expand that out to just general products that would be legal were it not for discrimination. So, what this guaranteeing free and fair banking order will do is basically until we get an actual law in place, because next administration could just undo all this bullshit. But this theoretically forces the banks and theoretically the payment processors because this is, aimed at all financial institutions. It's going to say, hey, if it's legal and the person that is doing the legal activity is not otherwise illegal, stop fucking with them. To put it in the most simple of terms, great example, Operation Choke Point. Utter fucking bullshit. Thanks, Barry. And its entire purpose was to shut down free and legal trade in arms in America. And so, no more of that. Now, we need actual laws. This needs more than just an executive order. So many of these executive orders need teeth.
They need to be codified.
They do. And
they're a law for as long as the president's there to keep them enforced. As soon as the next guy comes in, we saw what happened with Biden. Day one, he rescinded how many?
Just about all of them.
Almost all.
An interesting.
He brought some back when he found out shit broke, because that was smart.
Yeah, there was that too. Like, oh wow, I broke everything. Never went back on that border stuff though.
Wait a second. $30 insulin was a good thing. Let's make it $35 again. And you see, I lowered the price.
Yeah, only took them 2 years to pull that shit off. Thanks.
God damn.
Okay, so one last little bit of good news to kind of close us out here, and that's going to be a follow-up on something previously. So Kellogg's has now entered a legally binding agreement that toxic dyes are done in their cereals. So they'll be using all natural dyes. Probably they're going to go to the European formulas because they already have.
You see, I have to be a pedant.
All right.
The dose makes the poison.
Yeah, it does. But that said...
And natural substances are hilariously deadly.
Oh, yeah, they can be. And, a good example, too, that's not exactly the same, but in the same vein, is high fructose corn syrup Pepsi is not as bad for your teeth as regular sugar Pepsi. It's horrible for you otherwise. Jesus Christ. Was that sandpaper attacking you?
Well, you see, the idea is you're not supposed to just drink soda. And you're also supposed to keep your mouth clean. And so if you don't, and also you're supposed to drink water. And if you don't do all of those, it's gonna still fuck your mouth up.
Yeah.
So you should. So and again, if your diet is just Pepsi, fix your fucking life.
Yeah. Avoid a 2-liter a day. You're probably not doing well.
I know a guy who drank. All right, so I don't know. I'm guessing our audience is going to be somewhat familiar with Jean-Francois Gariepi, and the ridiculous amount of Pepsi he drinks. A buddy of mine in middle school drank around I would characterize it as nearly the same amount of Diet Pepsi. It wasn't as bad. I'll be fair on that, but like it was a stupid large amount of Diet Pepsi.
Oh, wow. Did he also kill a retarded woman and bury her body in the woods?
No,
Oh, okay.
no. In fact, he became, as far as I understand, he became a gym teacher.
Huh. Definitely.
Gym teachers. Okay, we're good. He's good. Gym teachers never bury anyone in the woods. It's a proven fact. Never happened.
No, they like shove.
Can't happen.
I would say this guy is not he's not a
he's not a lesbian gym teacher. Oh,
I had one of those.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it's so funny in retrospect because she's just gung ho and happy, and it had nothing to do with that aspect of her life. This was back when that aspect of people's lives, adults' lives in school, never existed. They never talked about their girlfriend, their boyfriend, what pronouns they had, their sexuality, whether or not they'd been on a fucking date. They never said any of that shit. In fact, it was rare that you found out they had a spouse until they stopped by to bring them lunch or something. Like, it was just, hey, we're here to learn, and I'm excited you're all here. Let's have a great day.
Yeah.
But she was so clearly a butch lesbian. It was.
Oh yeah, no. My creative writing teacher in high school was. She wasn't pushing things, but boy, it was utterly clear and obvious. Exactly.
Now,
exactly the flavor of carpet she liked is all I'm going to say.
If she wasn't a butch lesbian, I wouldn't have known it. I never saw her have a spouse. Which, there's people who are going to be single, and that's not an indicator, but that was like, a husband would have confirmed that something else was going on. But, like, it was so damn clear.
Huh. Oh, you know what? Why don't we close it out with something interesting that probably isn't all that big, because these are, as far as we know, known principles, known properties, known processes.
Oh, I'm getting pinged.
Yeah, exactly that. Is the guy, the black guy that disappeared that was turning plastic into gasoline? Because you can do that. You just got to crack it apart. And so he's back.
We talked about this before.
He has done that.
What's your drops process?
Yeah, it's totally a thing. Maybe he's got a better way of doing it. There's
probably not
anybody.
There's just a way to do it.
But
he just do it.
He's back.
It's not that bad.
He has had a successful test run, so it works. But
engines will run on a whole wide variety of things, so it doesn't even matter if he did it very particularly well. If he produced something that is within the right range of chain lengths, he'll get successful combustion. It doesn't even it won't necessarily be like optimally clean combustion, but it will give you combustion. And if he had a good test, then more power to him. That's something that Steve and I covered, several times over the years.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That you can add and remove carbons from a chain, an aliphatic, so a straight chain of carbons, in the Fischer-Tropsch process. And cool. I'm glad that there's initiative like that out there where people are like, because I mentioned also that circa 2004, 2006, Tyson made a pilot plant to use pressure and temperature swings to basically turn chicken waste into gasoline.
All right, there you go.
And
well, again, another good example of something like this is the EM drive. Yeah. It doesn't work. It'll never work. It can't do anything. And then they test it. It's like, oh, it actually does produce an anomalous amount of force. Not much, but it does.
Right, it's tiny.
But
and then another thing at the time. Another thing at the time was to use effectively something like the Fischer-Tropsch process to take reverse water gas shift and the and syngas reactions, and to basically capture carbon from the atmosphere as carbon dioxide and turn it into gasoline. And at the time, gas was on the order of like $1.80, I think it was, and to break even, you needed to sell gas at $4 a gallon. In order to make the 10-year return on investment, you needed to sell it for about $4.50. So
we almost hit it.
It is. The thing is that explicitly solves a problem in such a way that it is no longer a problem and it doesn't shift things in the direction that a bunch of activists wanted to go. The same way we had all the anti-nuclear people. This idea,
here's
as,
a solution to the
as
problem.
awesome
I
as it
don't want a
was,
solution. I want to be angry.
exactly, as awesome as that solution was, people went, well, it'll cripple the economy, this, that, and the other. It's like, no, motherfucker, it's going to create jobs. And as soon as you get it up and running and you build it out, you're going to drop the price from $4. That was at that time in those dollars, like 2004, 2006 time. It was at that time in those dollars, and the price would have dropped. It absolutely would have dropped because of economy of scale. And it would have produced a bunch of jobs for people, would have got people doing things. We would have been able to sell all the green bullshit. You could have done tax subsidies on it to encourage infrastructural investments and keep the 450 number from scaring people. Like there were ways, take all the subsidies given to big oil companies and throw all of that money into that project. You solve it overnight. So whenever somebody complains about that shit, that's the immediate response I have is exactly what you said. You don't want a solution because we have those. They're on the shelf and we know they work. And this guy is actually following independently in the footsteps of exactly that process. And plastic to gasoline is effectively CO2 to gasoline as far as Fischer-Tropsch is concerned. It just depends on the temperature and pressure you set and when and how long.
And shit, if you want to be like Johnny Greenpants about this shit, okay, let's run the ocean water through it and get all the fucking microplastics out of it. There you go. Are you happy? Turn the microplastics.
That's going to be harder to filter, but
yeah,
sure.
that's a.
I mean, you don't understand how small they are.
Yeah, well,
but I mean, but at the same time, there's something to be said about that as a chronic inflammatory malaise.
Look, if the
in
Earth
the
is going to end in 12 years in 1972, I can say that we can get the microplastics out with a fucking Fischer-Tropsch. All right.
What do you mean? It was supposed to end in 18 months a few years ago.
Exactly. Yeah, Greta. But anyway, we have delved the depths and we have sailed the seas of information.
Whoa, Kat, we got to go back, and we got to get your guys. We got to get your guys' predictions about what the outcome of this summit's going to be. I want to hear it from you guys.
Oh, that's a good one. Well,
I mean, in my opinion, I've already said as much that this is just this is the starting point. This is the offer to bring him in out of the cold. Largely. So it starts here. This is nothing.
I think it's going to be interesting to see what Zelensky does.
Yes.
And because I think it's largely going to depend on his attitude going in and whether or not he's actually willing to do a deal. Even hearing what Putin proposes is going to piss him off. So I think it'll be up to him to sit in the chair and take it with a neutral face if he can, and wear a fucking suit.
Mm-hmm.
And then let Donald Trump do the talking for him. I think that's what Trump wants to do at this point. He's ready to just talk for Ukraine if Ukraine can sit down and shut the fuck up for 5 minutes. And then as soon as he's done, I mean, they're free to reject it after the fact or say we want a little bit more and start actually negotiating. But, doing all the boxing outside the negotiating table is clearly hurting everyone. So I think that they finally get to the point where they see the direction our country's going, and as far as continuing to fucking fund this shit, and where the corruption's gotten them so far, and how much more shit Ukraine's gonna, like, the people are gonna put up with. I think that there's a high likelihood that Zelensky sits down and shuts up, at least for the first hour. He might do an outburst, which would be unfortunate. And I'm not going to stand on that. I'm going to, I'll lean in and say he's going to sit there and take it, and it'll be a good first day. I think it's going to be characterized by everyone like CNN as a terrible day, like the talk today.
Oh, quick note. Every fucking international agency was covering every moment of that summit. CNN didn't even bother.
Yeah.
Just as a by the by. Only, the future of the fucking world. Fucking assholes.
Yeah. Only World War III, as they kept repeating in 2016 and onward up through today. Only World War III on the line here.
And you, Mr. Blaster, your thoughts on the issue?
Well, I wanted to more hear your guys' idea about the final disposition. of where the war is going to be.
I think they're
I
going to
think
probably
the lines are going to end up
keep
real
up
similar to where they are now.
I think they're going to keep
there
basically
ain't
up to
no
the
more
Zaporizhia River.
Ukrainian Donbass, and that land bridge down to Crimea. Well, you're just going to have to learn to deal with that shit.
They might get a little bit east of the river back. I don't think that's really going to happen, but they might get some of that land back.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a matter of, we're going to let you go ahead and have some land that connects to ocean. You can have everything to the west of the river, and you can shut the fuck up. I think that's kind of how this...
I think that they're going to do that in part because they don't want to deal with the nuclear reactor that they fucked up. Which is fair, I guess, from the Russian standpoint. It's really fucking cynical. Yeah, so the Zaporizhia reactor on the river of the same name. I think that east of that, they're going to get a little bit of land back, basically enough for them to not have to deal with the nuclear reactor. And then they're going to probably negotiate from there and back down towards the two regions that they originally went to, but keep a lot of the land and say that Ukraine drove a hard bargain, but I guess we'll take it. I think that's probably the way that Putin wants it to go. And I hope that Trump is going to start, at least put a little bit of effort on him to talk about mining rights as they agreed upon previously, and just give some of the fucking land back. Commerce needs to be established, and that's one of the ways to do it, is mining rights and agricultural rights, and getting equipment in there and rebuilding the country, because Russia should be helping to pay for the Ukrainian infrastructure that needs to be rebuilt.
And Absolutely. To be fair, Ukraine owes us a fair debt.
$250 billion.
Oh, yeah.
$250 billion, at least.
Yeah, only $250 billion, between, well, I'm not going to say friends, but, $250 billion. Here or there. But, yeah.
I think,
is there anything else?
I think you guys are... No, I think you guys are on the right track as far as a best case scenario, but
Zelensky could be totally just a prick about the whole thing, and I wouldn't be surprised.
And you stole the words right out of my mouth, Kat. You are an acute little kitty, and that's why I love you, is because you get it. That dude
he doesn't wear a fucking suit, and he spends the first 5 minutes bitching at Putin and then leaves.
Well,
like the kid he is.
The big problem is that you have two world leaders that their egos are tied to this. And, I think Putin's goals are a lot more succinct and defined than Zelensky's are. Zelensky is just like, we must win against Russia at any cost, and I cosplay as a soldier or whatever.
I would challenge him the way Trump actually and Vance have done to define the parameters of victory. And I guarantee you he will still have a non-answer for that.
Well, because the thing is, his entire, he really thinks he's the George Washington of Ukraine. That's what he kind of has built himself up to be.
Yeah,
and it just isn't. That's going to be the biggest obstacle to things, because Russia's going to take that territory, because Russia, this entire time, Russia has been angling for, in kind of slimy ways, I will admit, by importing a bunch of Russians into areas that they want, and being they're majority Russian speaking, now you must give them the right to join Russia.
Yeah,
that kind of shit.
A while ago.
Yeah, no, he's being a total dick about it, but
took a poll and all the Russians they brought in said they like Russia. What happened?
Yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, he is going to have his land bridge to Crimea, and that's where he's always wanted. He doesn't want Ukraine. That's why he's not like going and
If he did, it would
leveling
this whole thing would have been a
keys.
lot
What does
faster.
Ukraine mean? I think he wants a good chunk of it because what's Ukraine? It's just that's the name of the area of the USSR. Like it broke away as a federated state.
Yeah,
They took half of Poland and then they lost that half of Poland and then another area about the same size. Like I bet you that he's going to try and get right up to the Polish border eventually, unless he dies first. Like his big thing has been bringing back the greatness of Russia, including the area that was lost due to the collapse and balkanization. Like he's got Belarus, right, in his pocket. Like, it's not Russian. That he's been happy to leave it as Belarus, but it's basically Russian.
No, they're a great ally, you could say.
I would say that they are Russia's Ukraine as far as the diplomatic approach to NATO.
it's his foothold in the Balkans, you could say.
Yeah.
No, not an inaccurate statement.
It's their buffer zone.
And to be fair, Zelensky should just be thankful that it's like, look, I'm going to build a road to Transnistria, and you're not going to stop me. So really, he needs to just chill and take what he can get at this point.
You know, if they give them just a road width and like make it like highway road width, but like give them just a road width, that would be interesting.
Such things do exist. I mean,
they do,
Germany
and they're
West
in
Germany
fact in the same exact region.
And that would
in the same region
that would actually probably be a really good bargaining chip, but I don't expect a lot of good bargaining with the Z-Man. But anyway, we've run rather late for our man Craig here, so we don't want to keep you up too late so you don't turn into too much of a pumpkin. And with that said, was there anything either of you fellas was wanting to cover before we call it a night?
I guarantee it.
No, I was the Zelensky thing is the thing that is the most interesting to me. But yeah, you covered everything. So
sounds
yeah.
Good. Is there anywhere that people should find or follow you?
Absolutely not. You follow me, and the only place that I want you to follow me, which is right on the secret channel that no one can know about.
All right,
because
it's
for only the most depressed people ever.
There you go. Sad hours. So you'll not be finding Man Booty, but maybe he'll find you. But that said, you can find me. I'm Evan at That Fake Guy Dan. You can find my man Craig here at CraigBob99. And everybody, it's been a pleasure as ever. Share the show around there. You know, we're doing pretty solid numbers. Everything's kind of ramped up. You know, what previously took 2 to 3 months is happening in a month. You know, would I like the show to be bigger? Of course, but
on track.
It's all happening. Yeah, it's going. So, thank you, really, from the bottom of my heart. Craig, Booty, both of you guys, everybody listening, everybody live, means the world to me. But if you can, share it around there, leave some comments, you know, all that good stuff. But with that, everybody be good. We'll see you again real soon.